evening tonight from Golden Hawk Stadium on the campus of Centennial High School. Welcome to the Prep Football Game of the Week on Time Warner Cable Channel 52. I'm Mark Heffernan. With me is my brother Dennis. Tonight, the Golden Hawks entertain the Stockdale Mustangs. This is for the Southwest Yosemite League Championship.
Well, Mark, it's all tonight. This is a rivalry. This is a pride game. And I think for Stockdale, they've got to come out tonight, and they really got to be physical. They've got to find a way to really stop Centennial's run and force Centennial to pass. Thereby, they might be a little successful.
Both teams are 3-0 in the league. Stockdale 4-5 overall. Centennial is 8-1. They're ranked number 3 in the Central section.
Well, those records don't mean anything in this kind of game. These two teams do not like each other, but this is a rivalry. This is a personal feud. And I think tonight for Stockdale, they're going to have to do a good job of putting 8 or 9 men up at the line of scrimmage and really try to force Centennial to throw the football and then maybe blitz a few times to see if they can disrupt the offense. For Centennial, they want to run the football and control the clock. So hopefully Stockdale can get some confidence early, stay in the football game, maybe get a few breaks, and who knows what can happen.
Centennial's rushed for almost 2,000 yards this year. Mike Anderson, a key component of the Stockdale offense, he's thrown for over 1,300 yards, but he's also a very good runner.
Well, I think what you're going to see Stockdale do tonight, Mark, is they're going to do a lot of sprint out plays for Anderson, the quarterback. They've got to get him outside the pocket so he can either run or throw, because if he stays inside that pocket, I really have a feeling the rush of Centennial will really get to him. So they want to get him outside where he can use his running ability and even throw the football successfully.
It's Stockdale and Centennial tonight for the Southwest Yosemite League Championship on Time Warner Cable Channel 52.
Gutshot is the place to go to dress up your home. It's the place to go. Gutshot, we're your store.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
Get in on all the football action with refreshing Coca-Cola Classic. This game is brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Always for the fans, always Coca-Cola.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh my!
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
Good evening from Golden Hawk Stadium in Northwest Bakersfield. Welcome to Prep Football on Time Warner Cable Channel 52, as tonight the Centennial Golden Hawks take on the Stockdale Mustangs for the Southwest Yosemite League Championship.
Well, Mark, as we mentioned in our pregame show, it should be quite a game, a big rivalry here. Both teams, I think, are going to come ready to play. Stockdale is on a bit of a roll in the league, in the Southwest Yosemite League, and they're playing their best football right now. So we'll see what they do tonight against the mighty Golden Hawks of Centennial.
We're high above the Centennial High School stands as the kickoff is underway on a beautiful fall evening. Stockdale, the ball, a long run, taken out to about the 38-yard line.
It's Andrew Ferguson returning the ball for Stockdale.
In black and white, silver and black, and of course the Centennial Golden Hawks in their Florida State-like uniforms. So Ferguson with a fine return to the 38-yard line, 39, 1st and 10 for Stockdale. Mike Anderson has come on of late, the quarterback for Stockdale. He's thrown for over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns, but I think he's a very fine runner.
Well, Mark, we saw him earlier against Foothill, and he looked really impressive in the second half once he settled down in that football game. And he was able to run effectively, and he also can roll out and throw effectively.
Sean Barker, the ball carrier.
Barker, the ball around the outside, knocked out of bounds after a gain of maybe 5 yards. So a misdirection by the Mustangs. We're not playing with Travis Pena tonight. He is academically ineligible. He's a big tight end, about 6'1", 220. So Travis not playing, but Stockdale has about 3 receivers. They have between 20 and 30 receptions.
Well, they're going to try to get the ball to the outside. They want to try to use their speed and get away from the interior side of the Centennial defense.
Yards on the play.
So look for Stockdale to go wide quite a bit tonight.
2nd and 4 for the Mustangs. Barker 6'1", about 190 pounds for the Mustangs. Anderson to Ferguson, hit at line of scrimmage and dropped. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Stockdale. Centennial defense comes to play there.
Well, Mark, we talked about trying to go up against that interior defensive line of Centennial. I don't think Stockdale's going to have much success. They're really overweight, you know, per each man. They're outweighed by each man about 30 to 40 pounds. So it's really not effective to go straight up the middle. So I think they're going to mix it up and really try to go wide as much as possible.
Number 77 pitching, 6'3", 270, making the stop. He's a fine offensive lineman for Centennial. 3rd and 4 for Stockdale. Anderson to throw. The pass incomplete. And a penalty against Centennial.
Pass intended for Jeffrey.
The DB came over the top. Pass intended for Jeffrey over the top, the Centennial cornerback.
Well, Mark, that was a good call. It was a 5-yard square in. And Rusty Coons reached over the shoulder.
Against Centennial.
He did knock the ball down, but he did make contact with the receiver before the ball got there. So a good call by the official. I think you're going to see a good matchup there. Rusty Coons, an excellent corner, junior cornerback for Centennial. And I think they're going to work on him tonight. I think he's the weak link between him and Shannon Ezel, the left corner. So I think you're going to see Stockdale go to against Rusty Coons tonight, see if they can work on him the right corner.
He's number 45. Ezel covered Pat Osborne so well in that BHS Centennial game, and he gave up a lot in height. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs in Centennial territory. Ferguson slips and falls down at the line of scrimmage. So Stockdale showing run here and there.
Well, Mark, they're going to mix it up, and I think this has been an effective drive. They've been able to mix up the run and get the ball to the outside. They're trying to throw some short, quick out passes where they can't really get to the quarterback. He can't afford to go deep. He's not going to take a 3-step drop and try to throw short passes to his wideouts.
Centennial always has such a great pass rush. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Timeout called by Anderson.
Stockdale.
Well, Stockdale with a 2nd and 10. At the Centennial 40-yard line here in the 1st quarter from Golden Hawk Stadium in Northwest Bakersfield. Both teams 3-0 in the SWYL. Centennial 8-1 for the year and Stockdale 4-5. The Mustangs have been playing better of late. They seem to do that every year. They seem to struggle against a very strong non-conference schedule, and then they kind of pick it up in league.
Well, I think the last few years, the Southwest Yosemite League has been a little bit weaker than the Southeast Yosemite League. So Stockdale, being in that league, except for Centennial, has been able to be more effective. And also, they play a pretty tough non-conference. So I think Hans gets them going when they get in league play. And I think sometimes the record's a little deceptive there because they play a good Atascadero team always early in the year, and they're always good. And I think when they get in league play, some of the teams are maybe a little bit down, especially this year. But I think there has been some improvement. You've got to give Anderson credit, the quarterback. And we know he's gotten better. They have some juniors on their team that play key roles in their team this year. So I think the team has really improved, Mark, and they've gotten better.
Derek Jeffrey wide to the left for Stockdale at 2nd and 10. Anderson at QB with a single running back behind him. Mike, sprint out left, throws it over the middle, it's complete. 1st down for Stockdale. Nice throw by Mike Anderson.
Pass complete to Nick Radon.
Nick Radon for the reception for the Mustangs. 1st and 10. Pitching, putting the heat on Anderson.
Picks
he
up
delivered
another
it.
Stockdale
Mark,
down.
Quarterback Anderson took about a 4-step drop, and Radon just, what he did is he ran a 10-yard score out right in the middle, and Centennial playing a zone defense. Stubbe came up and made the tackle. Centennial playing a little bit loose on defense there. That's kind of a loose zone, and they were able to get in the seams there and get a completion.
Well, we'll hand it off to number 20. Stays on his feet to about the 24-yard line.
Matt Martin, the ball carrier.
Doesn't normally carry the ball that much. I believe he's a backup quarterback. He's also a starting corner for Stockdale. His brother, an outstanding pitcher for Bakersfield College.
Well, Mark, so far we've seen an impressive drive here by Stockdale. They've been able to run a little bit effectively to keep Centennial off balance a little bit because they're not going to make a lot of yards rushing.
2 on the play.
They got to keep the
2nd and
Centennial
8.
defense honest, and he's been able to throw the ball effectively with a short drop. Centennial has not been able to get to him yet.
2nd and 8 for the Mustangs in Centennial territory. Anderson and company. Anderson looking over the defense. It's like a 5-2.
Anderson back to pass.
Fires it. Overthrown to Martin. Incomplete. Felt the heat that time from Brian
Pass
Kitching
intended for
and also
Martin, called
Jones.
incomplete.
Kitching number 77, Jones 73. Big boys on the defensive front for Centennial.
Well, he tried to pass the ball to the
Incomplete
flat.
pass brings a
And
third
Rusty
down.
Coons, the right corner, came up. And even if the receiver would have caught the ball, Coons would have made the tackle. That was well defended by the the Centennial secondary.
Mark Hansen, head coach at Stockdale. Jan Stubbe at Centennial. Derek Jeffrey wide to the left. On 3rd and 8 for Stockdale.
Anderson
Rolling
back
to his
to
left,
pass once
Anderson
again.
fires it, and the coverage, oh, just incomplete. Knocked away by Centennial, but it was almost caught by number 15. And that would be Ben Lewis for Stockdale. Just went off his hand.
Pass broken up by
4th down
Rusty
for
Coons.
Stockdale. Coons making the play once again, but they're working on him on that side.
Well, Mark, from our angle, it looked like 15. The 45 came in there. Rusty Coons, the right cornerback, and again, almost intercepted the ball. They're working on him, but the junior cornerback has done a good job for Centennial. So maybe he's not such a weak link after all.
Justin Rubel.
Rubel attempting a 40-yard field goal.
The 40-yard line, 40-yard line, 40-yard line. Looks to be a little bit short and off to the right. Kind of scuffed it over the grass.
Kick is
From that
no
30,
good.
40-yard attempt, no good, and Centennial will take over. So that drive stalls by Stockton, helped out by that penalty against Centennial, and the Golden Hawk defense rising to the occasion.
Well, I think they put a little bit more pressure on the last two offensive plays for Stockton. They got some additional pressure by a few linebackers coming in for Centennial. And I also thought that the secondary of Centennial kind of tightened up there a little bit on the last two plays, Mark, and they were able to smell out the play and stop Stockdale. And of course, they missed the field goal.
Jared Ratcher wide to the right, averages 27 yards of reception for Centennial, 5 touchdowns this year. He's accounted for 550 yards in receiving yards, and I think he had 2 long ones caught for touchdowns in the recent week. Of course, the game we saw him, he caught a long post pattern for a touchdown, number 20.
Well, Mark, I think you're going to see Centennial want to run the ball as much as they can with Echeverry and Stubbe. And then, of course, we know Malos has improved quite a bit as a passer. Of course, you've got Bratcher, one of the wideouts, who's an excellent deep threat for him. So they can really go run or pass, the way they've been playing lately.
Echeverry, fullback number 32, Andrew Stubbe, 43, the tailback. Andrew with the ball. Fumbles, and I think Stockdale has it.
Fumble on the exchange.
It's Mustang ball. I don't know if that was a bad handoff or if he was carrying the ball too loosely, but a big turnover.
Well, Mark, on that play there, it looked like Adam Stubbe just dropped the ball. It looked like the handoff was there, but it looked like he never really quite got it. He tried to run, and he just bobbled it and lost it. Nobody hit him, so it was a situation where a big break for Stockdale. And as we talked about Stockdale on the first drive here, they were able to mix up their pass and run. Centennial did a good job defensively in the secondary to stop the first drive. But I think we're going to see Stockdale try to throw the ball, especially the wideouts, quick short passes.
Anderson to throw, just basically throws it away on the other side. Countering some heat by Mike Gonzalez, number 6.
Anderson's pass is incomplete.
As he was rolling out to his right, just unloaded it. Incomplete, it'd be 2nd and 10. Andrew Stubbe had 999 yards rushing coming into the game. He doesn't gain anything right there. 18 touchdowns on the ground, 21 overall. He returned an interception for a touchdown this year, a fumble for a touchdown, and has had a great overall year. And we talked about the quarterback, Vallows. He's thrown for over 900 yards and 10 touchdowns. Anderson is stocked with the ball, 2nd and 10, ball on the left hash mark, as they try to take advantage of a big mistake by Centennial on their opening play. Anderson sprint out right, has some time, fires it, incomplete. A little bit high, good coverage on the far side.
Anderson's pass
by
intended
Bratcher.
for Lewis is incomplete.
Number 20, Lewis, the intended receiver.
Well, Mark, again, as we see Stockdale, we talked about earlier, they're sprinting out, trying to get away from the rush. He's got some time. There, that pass there was a little bit thrown behind the receiver, but again, Centennial secondary, Bratcher came in and made a nice play. But I think the strategy for Stockdale's really good tonight. They're really getting time to throw as long as they take the short drop. On the earlier play there's a lot of pressure coming in from number 8 for Centennial, Gonzalez, the rover back defensive end for Centennial. He's a very effective player. Fans want to watch him. He's a very good football player defensively for Centennial.
3rd and 10 for the Mustangs.
Barker, the ball carrier.
Barker, will he cut back? Yes, he does. 20, 15, stays on his feet. He's to the goal line. Touchdown, Stockdale.
Touchdown.
Sean Barker with the score. That's 21 yards. Nice cutback.
Yeah, Mark, he rolled out to the right, had great blocking. He was able to cut across against the green and show some great power and good balance and just rammed into the end zone there. First touchdown for Stockdale tonight, and they get on the board early. This is going to be a big confidence builder for them. They look good now on both drives tonight. Centennial looks a little bit flat defensively. It looks like Stockdale getting off the ball very effectively here in the first quarter, Mark, and they're beating Centennial to the punch. The smaller offensive line is doing its job.
Well, there was a key penalty against Centennial on Stockdale's first series, which gave the Mustangs a good position in Centennial territory. They missed a field goal. Then Stubbe fumbled that handoff.
Bell attempts the extra point.
Centennial has helped give Stockdale good position tonight. With a PAT attempt, and we have a flag down. Nice run by Barker. 21 yards, cut back against the rain, and ran very hard, smelled the end zone, and scored for Stockdale. Well, last year it was 21-0 Centennial.
Yes, Mark, a great block on that run was by number 60, 6'1", 225-pound senior guard. His name is Michael Puskwich. He really made a great block to really spring the ball carrier to the score.
Last year it was 7-0 at the half, and as I mentioned, Centennial won 21-0, but it won't be that score this year, as Stockdale hits pay dirt first. Rubel trying to PAT from quite a long distance from the 15-yard line, a 25-yard PAT attempt. As the snap, the kick is line drive. It is good. 7-0 Mustangs, 8-13 to play in the first quarter from Golden Hawk Stadium.
Well, Mark, it's a situation where this is for the Southwest Assembly League Championship, and I think Centennial has to realize that. You got to forget about the records. Both teams are 3-0 in league play, and if Centennial wins this, if Stockdale wins this game, they're the Southwest Assembly League champions. So Centennial has to realize that, and I think they have to come up with a little bit more intensity here on their next series. But certainly, Stockdale's come out tonight very fired up, and really has beat them to the punch here in the first quarter.
Definitely so. Like you said, Stockdale would only have a record of 5-5 if they win, and they would have a better seed, most likely, for the Central Section playoffs.
And that would be devastating for Centennial as well as they played this year. And right now being ranked number 3 in the Valley, of course that ranking would change if they lost still. To lose a game at home, the last game here for the championship, not be ready to play would be a devastating loss.
Buchanan, who's undefeated, is ranked number 1, followed by Redwood, who defeated Centennial early this year, 31-16. In fact, Redwood has beaten Centennial 3 times in the last 2 years. And then comes Centennial and DHS, Bakersfield High School. Stockdale silver and black pumped up tonight against the Centennial Golden Hawks. This is a rivalry in all sports. You talk about volleyball, baseball, basketball, and both girls and boys sports.
Kicking off for Stockdale, number 8, Sean Barker.
Barker's in the kickoff. Kicks it deep to Branson, number 20. Takes it up the 8-yard line, up to the 15. Goes off to the right, 20-yard line, and they throw him out of bounds at the 25. First and 10 for the Golden Hawks at their own 26-yard line.
Ashby on
Mark,
stop
so
for
far
Stockdale.
in this football game, not only has Stockdale done a good job offensively, they made the big play defensively, recovered the fumble. The special teams have been very sound too so far here in the first quarter. The kicking game, they've done a good job on coverage, punt coverage, and kickoff coverage. So they've done a fine job here in the first quarter. They have definitely come to play tonight against Centennial. Would there be any other reason to be out here at Golden Hawk Stadium if you're Stockdale? Justin Roberts wide to the right. Bradshaw wide left for the Golden Hawks. Valos at QB for Centennial. And off to Andrew Stubbe. Only gains about a yard.
Stubbe, the ball carrier.
Got to get him to 1,000 yards.
Gonzalez on the stop for Stockdale.
Gonzalez making the tackle for the Mustangs. And we have, I'd say, about 2nd and 9. Mark, that time Reggie Gonzalez in the 45 for the TV viewers at home really cut into the gap and really made a fine
Stubbe picks up 1 yard.
Stockdale playing about 8 men up in the box in the interior line, really stacking the middle, really forcing Centennial to want to throw the football. They're telling Centennial right now, you're not going to run the football on us up the middle. He's 5'11", 200, Reggie. 5-man front for the Mustangs. Long count, pitch back Andrew Stubbe to the 25. Hitting the backfield, stays on his feet. Great second effort. Gained some yardage, but Stockdale strung it out very well. Excellent 2 and 3.
Stubbe, the ball carrier,
effort by Stubbe. 3rd down for Centennial.
Well, Mark Christopher Jerome in the 43.
Stopped by Chris Pelster.
He was able to break that tackle. You know, for a player who's not real big, Stubbe, he's got great balance and great strength. He was able to break the tackle and pick up a sizable gain there for about 6 yards. That would have been about 3rd and 8, and now
he picks up 7 yards on the play.
So it picked up 7 yards, and the play looked like he might only pick up 1.
3rd and 2.
So great extra effort. 6:45 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Stockdale. Bratcher wide to the right. Echeverry and Stephen backfield. Barrels play action over the middle. Complete to Jamie Smith. First down for Centennial.
That's week to Jamie Smith.
Number 88, the tight end. Wide open over the middle. Barker with a tackle. First and 2 for the Golden Hawks.
Centennial
Mark,
first
it looks
down.
like Centennial used the Calvin Carpy of Stockdale's play. Kind of a pass right over the middle. You know, just the tight end just goes down right over the middle, turns around. Three-step drop by the quarterback, Velos, and he hit him. Strong safety had to come and make the tackle. Those are effective pass plays, and I think both these teams can be effective throwing those kind of passes. You don't have to always go deep. You know, 2 or 3 step drop and then a quick pass is very effective.
The ball given to Andrew Scrooby. Breaks the tackle in the backfield. Now goes down. A gain of about 2 yards.
Scooby the ball carrier, stop made by Matt Martin.
Matt Martin, the Mustangs stringing plays out very well tonight. And of course with Scooby, you've got to really have at least 2 guys hit him most of the time. He breaks tackles just right and left. And Stockton's done a great job of, like Marquand says, everybody to the ball
yards on the play, 2nd and 8.
Really good pursuit.
Well, I think Stockdale's really improved their defense since early in the year. The offense has gotten a little bit better as the season goes on, but the defense has been pretty solid all year. And so that's really their strong point. And what they want to do is they came in with a game plan. That game plan was really to string the play out and really stop Centennial running game.
2nd and 8 for the Golden Hawks. Velos back to pass. Pretty good protection. Fires it over the middle. Complete to Smith. First down, thrown down by Barker at the 32-yard line.
Good for another first down.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Ashby and Barker in on the
The
stop.
Stockdale 32, Ashby and Barker on the stop for Stockdale. So the balance to Smith next has proven to be very successful for the Golden Hawks.
Mark, again, that was just about a 15-yard pass, and he just, like a button, threw over the middle, and he was covered. Barker did a good job, but the key to that play was quarterback had all kinds of time to throw. You cannot let a quarterback get that kind of time to throw. And then what happened was he just veered over to the left part of the flat and was able to complete the ball. You can't cover a man forever.
1st and 10 for Centennial. That's where the ball carry to about the 30-yard line. A gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Number 66 in on the tackle.
Jones in on the stop.
Jason Jones for Stockdale.
Well, Mark, Jason Jones is a load. I mean, this man here, Jason Jones, is a player that he goes 5'9", 325.
2 yards on the play.
2nd and 8.
4:35 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Stockdale. Mark and Dennis Heffernan from Centennial High School, Golden Hawk Stadium. High above the press box. The Golden Hawks with the ball in Stockdale territory. Velos, pitch back to Scooby. Fumbles it again. Tries to pick it up, and I believe he does, and it gains some yardage. So Scooby, with some fumbleitis tonight, was very fortunate. Kind of kicked the ball forward for the first down, fill on it.
Well, Mark, that was
Scooby picks up another first down.
Scooby dropped the ball and made an extra 5 or 6 yards on the play. But again, having a little bit of difficulty tonight holding on to the football, no special reasons. Again, he made a nice pickup on the left side off the left tackle. And Centennial's on the move here now. Their first serious drive of the football game.
And he gained yards on that. It was 8 yards to go, and he picked up 8 or 9 yards on the run at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. As on the left half mark, Scooby once again powers his way forward to about the 16-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards by Andrew.
Scooby ball carried up by Uberoff and Gonzalez.
Eric Uberoff. And Gonzalez making the tackle for Stockdale.
Well, Mark, one player we always talked about when we watched Centennial is number 77, Brian Kitchen, the right tackle.
Very good for 5 yards.
2nd and 5. Blocking for Scooby. And again, he made a nice block there on that play to spring Scooby for the nice.
Ball is on the Stockdale 16-yard line.
2nd and 5 for the Golden Hawks. Stockdale leads at 7-0. Bratcher wide to the right. Valles to Scooby. Nice blocking. Hit and dropped at the 12-yard line. I think he'll be shy of the first down.
By Sean Barker.
Nice hit by number 8, Sean Barker. Scooby had a chance to break it for some more. Brian Kitching leading the way, number 77 for Centennial.
Well, Mark, we can see the pattern developing right now from Coach Scooby, what he wants to do tonight. And what he wants to do is really
Pick up a 4 yards.
He wants to wear Stockdale down.
3rd and 1.
Right now, they want to run in between the tackles if you're Centennial. He wants to wear the defense down in this football game.
3rd and 1 for the Golden Hawks. Scooby, first down. Straight ahead inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Barker in on the tackle for Stockdale. At his first and goal for
Andrew Stubbe, the ball carrier, once again stopped by Sean Barker.
We're not going to get
Stubbe picks up another first down.
We're going to take this team on Stockdale. We're going to go straight up the middle on. We're going to go right up the gut.
That's what he's done here on the first serious drive of the first quarter. He wants to pound the Stockdale defense. Like that word, Mark, pound? On full wire, right guard and right tackle, Brian pitching for Centennial. They've been running that way. Stubbe, flag is down, hit at the 5, stays on his feet, touchdown.
Andrew
But most
Stubbe gets
likely,
into the end zone, but
a
there are
penalty
penalty
against the
flags
Golden
on the
Hawks
play.
because of where the referee threw the flag. A holding
penalty against Centennial.
So the touchdown is nullified by the Golden Hawks. And that'll be 15 yards against Centennial.
Well, Mark, it's been a very impressive drive here in the first quarter for Centennial, their first serious drive of the game, and they've really done it with Stubbe.
Running the ball straight up the middle.
Off left tackle, off right tackle,
Taking advantage of their huge
offensive line, and they've been pushing the Stockdale defensive line back a little bit. I think what you're going to see
shot to do
is that what they were doing on the first drive that
Centennial have.
put a lot of guys up inside the line of scrimmage and try to stop them.
First and goal from the 19th for
Centennial. Pitch back to Andrew Stubbe.
He's hit and dropped.
3 Mustangs in on the tackle.
Andrew Stubbe stopped by Andrew Ferguson.
Andrew Ferguson,
Number 20, but a couple of other Mustangs were there. Ferguson actually number 32, number 20 also there for Stockdale, Matt Martin. So they string it out, and he doesn't gain anything.
Second and goal from the 19.
Well, Mark, Ferguson's a very impressive player. For Stockton, number 32, he's senior 6'1", 190, fullback linebacker. And he is just a great two-way player for Stockton, probably one of the best all-around players.
Second and goal for the 19. Play action, Vallis to throw.
Pass Smith
In the end zone. Touchdown!
Smith is complete for a Centennial touchdown.
Jamie Smith with
3 receptions on this drive.
nice loss by Vallis, nice catch by Jamie Smith.
Well, Mark, Vallis had time to throw the football. He took about a 5-step drop to a nice 20-yard pass for the score.
Smith beat Barker. Barker's having all kinds of
Problems with
Smith. They might want to double team
Smith because he's about 3 inches taller.
and
One-on-one, he's not able to handle him so far.
here in the first quarter.
So Centennial on the board with a nice pass. They really improved their passing game, Mark, become very effective with it.
Kick by Long is up and good, but we have a penalty flag down. Jamie Smith having a big game, 3 receptions on this drive, and Stockdale hasn't been able to handle him so far tonight. Ball the pass all the way, weaved under it, and caught up for Centennial's first touchdown tonight. The penalty against the Golden Hawks.
So both teams have been penalized on the PAT attempts. Kind of unusual at this stage of the season.
Yes, and this goes well for Centennial, Mark, as it goes
Procedure penalty against Centennial.
next week, because
You're going to have to throw the ball in the playoffs. The teams are much stronger, and as you go deeper into the playoffs,
teams get better. So I think Centennial's
really improve their passing game.
and that's really going to be a highlight for them. And again,
Extra point by Jonah Long is good.
7-7.
Centennial football fans, the Booster Club is selling
the first quarter
football
as
blankets.
Vallis to
I'm
Jamie
sorry,
Smith,
selling
the
football
key
blankets.
waiting for
If you look up at the press box,
score. Well, Mark,
there's a
double
sample
covering
one.
Bratcher tonight.
They're going
So
for
Smith has
$40.
been
wide open tonight, and they can't really double team
They'll
everybody.
be sold
And
by
he's
really
Booster
come on.
Cafe. If
Receiver's
you're
got a great
interested,
pair of
this
hands. Those are
sponsored
6'1",
by
about
Chaps.
190.
And he's been very effective. So I like the look
To Centennial.
Hey, if they're going
A
to
couple cover Jared Bratcher with 2 guys. We'll go with
do our other wideout, Jamie Smith, and he's done the job tonight. And of course, running the ball a little bit with
Andrew Stubbe. They were very fortunate on a pitch out to Stubbe.
where he fumbled it, and someone kicked it forward and fell on it for a first down. That could have been
Another
mistake against the Golden Hawks, but fortunately that time
it came up
positive for Centennial.
They get the
First down,
Stubbe picks up 8 yards.
yards, and that kind of keeps their drive going. Well, Mark, I thought on that last series by Centennial, they started to dominate
the offensive line.
You can see Stubbe starting to get more confident, starting to make more yards per
Carry. And you can just see the team start to gel offensively and start to push Stockdale back.
So I think
Stockdale's going to have to make some adjustments
to try to
counteract that big
Centennial offense.
Jonah Long kicking off for Centennial.
John Long's kick comes to the end zone. It cannot be
In the end zone will come out to the 20-yard line.
Contend for Stockdale for their own 20-yard line. 7-7 games. They're late in the first quarter from Golden Hawk Stadium on Time Warner Cable Channel 52.
Here's the Mustangs do on this drive. Last time they're helped
Out by the fumble by Stubbe deep in his own territory.
And then Sean Barker had a 21-yard run for a touchdown. Mark, it's important for Stockdale here not to get down on themselves because Centennial scored. And even if they don't score, you want to control the ball a little bit, control that time of possession, and not just go 4 and out. You don't have to get Centennial the ball back with good field position. You want to be able to control the ball a little bit, control the clock, and get good field position.
Jeffrey wide to the left for Stockdale. Anderson, a quarterback. Ferguson, a ball carrier, hit in the backfield and dropped. Loss of maybe a yard or two.
Martin stopped by Davis.
Martin, the ball carrier. I think that's a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Stockdale. Davis making the tackle.
Well, Mark, I think one improvement that Centennial's made from last year.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11.
More speed in the secondary and more speed at the wideouts and better skilled players. I mean, they're really working. I know Stubby's been a little bit sensitive about that, but the team has improved their team speed. And also their skill players, I think, have much improved over last year.
Martin, a single running back.
Anderson got the
throw,
pass.
flag is down. A pass incomplete. Nice hit on the intended receiver. And that will be number 84 for Stockdale. Nick Radon. Flag is down. We'll see if it's against the Mustangs with 42 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Well, in the last couple series, it seems like Anderson's been a little bit off on his passing. He's going to have to get that ball in there a little bit better. That was just a poor throw. Radon was open. It had to be a good throw. Centennial was playing the zone defense coverage, and he did have a step on the receiver. He had a step on the defensive man, but it was a situation where Anderson just missed his man.
He's been overthrowing a lot of his passes. Defensive holding against Centennial.
Illegal use of hands or illegal block penalty against
2nd and 5 for Stockdale. They're in the latter stages of the first quarter. And a 7-7 game for the Southwest in the Centennial League Championship. Jeffrey wide left, ball the right hash mark for Stockdale. Anderson, person behind him. Looking pattern, overthrows him once again. That's a pass you have to throw low.
That's intended for Jeffrey.
Anderson tonight is really landed out for his receivers. He's throwing the ball up high, and those guys are going to get belted on pass plays like that.
Well, that's just a 3-yard turn-in, and Rusty Coombs came up.
Jeremiah and Stubby supplying the defense for
deflection.
Incomplete pass brings up
and built out. But, you know, he's going to have to get the ball there a little quicker, Mark. He's kind of, like you say, aiming the ball, and it's not real accurate.
We have Stubby and Wall, the safeties, Dennis, for Centennial. Wall 22, Stubby 43. On 3rd and 5.
Sean Barker, the ball
Tries to
carrier.
cut back, and they cut him down. Maybe about a 3-yard loss. Kissing turned into play to the outside. Number 44 there for Centennial, Justin Davis and company. 4th down for Stockdale, punting time.
Well, Mark, we said earlier, when we
Davis,
saw Centennial
Allen,
when
and
they
Jeremiah
were so high, it's very difficult to go
Brings
wide
up
on
4th
them.
down.
Number 2 is so effective, especially against the cutback, that I think for Stockdale, in order to be successful tonight, they're going to have to throw the football a little bit and loosen up that Centennial defense, because right now they're really crowding the line of scrimmage, and they're single covering the wideouts. And until Anderson can show them that he can hit some of those passes, they're not going to change that defense.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Stockdale 7, Centennial 7.
After 1 quarter on Time Warner Cable Channel 52, it's Stockdale 7 and Centennial 7.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
Where did Power Flow come from?
The new Power Flow Sport Bottle. It's faster, so you can get back into the game where you belong. The new Power Flow from Powerade. Power the working muscles when you need it. I am not done.
Get back into the game with Powerade. This game is brought to you by Powerade and your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Powerade, you are not done.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
Gotchalk is the place to go to dress up your home. It's the place to go. Gotchalk, we're your store.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks, 7-7 ball game. Gallows, play action. Has Bratcher wide open. Now the pass caught. He's on his feet. Touchdown, Centennial.
Is complete for a Centennial touchdown.
The pass was underthrown to Bratcher, but he out-jumped the defender. Then he spun away from him at the 7-yard line and goes a distance. Well, Mark, he beat the left corner, number 6, Christopher Ashby, senior 5'10", 144. And Bratcher just ran a fly pad and ran right behind him. Then Bratcher had to wait for the ball and then out-jumped him. But when you're number 6 and you're 5'10", 144, you're really at a disadvantage size-wise. And he covered him one-on-one and got burned on the play.
That's his 6th touchdown reception of the year. And from about 27 yards away, that's his average, 27 yards. As long as the kick is up and it's good. Just like that.
By Jonah Long is good.
Centennial 14, Stockdale 7. 11-17 to play in the first half.
Well, Mark, we've talked earlier about it, and when we saw Centennial play North High back about a month ago, they have really become much more effective with their passing game. Bayless has 2 speedy receivers, and when you go to Jamie Smith, number 88, a senior, 6'3", 205, or you can go to Bratcher, who's a little bit smaller, but still a very effective football player. You know, when he goes at about 5'10", 175, they've got 2 speedy wideouts. And Stockdale's covering them in single coverage because they're putting a lot of guys in the box to try to stop Stubbe in the running game. And if you do that, Centennial's going to throw the football. Baylor say, hey, if you're going to try to stop Stubbe, we're going to beat you with the pass. And so far in this football game, they've been very effective. Centennial going deep on it.
Well, Stockton didn't move the ball to the last possession. Centennial picked it up at the 50-yard line, then the face masking penalty against Stockdale. And then Centennial has great position, then he beats you with the pass to your wide. He hasn't beaten them long to the pass play tonight. So it's a run, setting up the pass for Centennial. Dallas with now 12 touchdown passes this year.
Kicking off for Centennial, number 8.
Joe just cannot give Centennial the ball at midfield, starting their drives.
Another beautiful kick by Long.
Long kick goes into the end zone, will come out to the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 for Stockdale, their own 20 Long, a member of the outstanding Centennial soccer team, which won the Central Section Championship last year.
Mark, again, we're seeing the special teams for Centennial doing their job. The kicker, kicking the ball in the end zone, no chance for a run back, ball in the 20. Centennial, as we saw against Bakersfield High earlier this year, their special teams were great. They're great again tonight.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs as they find themselves behind 14-7. Centennial striking with a big plays tonight through the air. Somewhat unusual. The receivers wide to the right of the Mustangs. Pitching, shifting on defense, number 77 for Centennial. Anderson rolling to his right. The pass incomplete. Looks like it should have been caught by Martin.
That's intended for Martin.
At the 25-yard line. Maybe Centennial is beginning to intimidate Stockdale just a bit.
Well, Mark, he's got to make that play. That was a nice pass by Anderson. Again, and I think Anderson's doing the right thing, Mark. He's taking a 3 or 4 step drop. He's sprinting out a lot to get away from the pressure of Centennial, just like we talked about in the pregame show. And that was a perfect throw, this drop. I mean, they've got to make the play. The quarterback has to be accurate, but when he's accurate, they've got to catch the ball. Real simple.
Now Stockdale's being challenged by Centennial. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Anderson going to his left. Hit as he throws it. Oh, almost intercepted. Number 30, the closest man, Hermeyer, the closest man to the ball, as he was hit from the side as he unloaded that one.
Well, Mark, he was heavily rushed in that one, Anderson, and again, he's going to triple coverage there. Luckily that ball was not intercepted. But again, right now, as we talked about earlier, not only is the Centennial offensive line dominating, now we're seeing the Centennial defensive line starting to take charge, starting to get a good push on the Stockdale offensive line, starting to get a little more pressure on Anderson, making him hurry his throws.
They've been thrown high all night. There's a delay. to Ferguson. He'll be shy of the first down. It was a fairly good game.
Ferguson, the ball carrier.
It'll be fourth down for Stockdale at their own 28-yard line.
Mark Ferguson, a player who's really come on for Stockdale this year, junior, 5'6", 152, and they can look for good things for him next year too. A fine young running back, quickness and good balance. He's going up a great defensive line in Centennial. It's going to be tough to make yards tonight.
He's switching time with Matt Martin, number 20 for the Mustangs. Fourth down, 10:35 to play in the first half. 14-7 Centennial, and they will get the ball back once again. Thrasher back there deep with Jason Wall. You have number 20, number 22 for the Golden Hawks. They fake it. Fake punt. Ball comes to Ferguson. Has a first down the sidelines. Cuts back, stays on his feet. First and 10 for Stockdale in Centennial territory.
Ferguson, the ball carrier. Picks up a first down for Stockdale.
Number 32, Andrew Ferguson. So Centennial burned.
Well, Mark, I think it's a situation where if you're Stockdale, you've got nothing to lose, right? I mean, they punt the ball there. Centennial gets the ball back in midfield, and with Centennial so often, Stockdale really can't afford to get behind 21-7 at this point in the game. Again, a fake on the punt, a run, and he picked up about 23 yards and a first down for Stockdale. The Mustangs are on the go, Mark. The Stockdale Mustangs. They're ready to take charge.
I like that aggressiveness by Mark Anderson. First and 10 for the Mustangs.
Mike Anderson back to pass.
Throws it deep to the far side. It is complete to number 14, Derek Jeffrey. Nice reception. Came back for the ball. Got inside of the defensive back. Number 45,
Jeffrey.
Rusty Coons. And his first and 10 for the Mustangs.
Mark, they've been working on Coons, as we said. He's a single cover
Andrew
there.
Stubbe.
That was a nice pass by Anderson.
Jeffrey picks up another first down.
Another 18-yard pickup for a first down for Stockdale.
Just like that. 23-yard run on the fake punt, followed by the pass reception. At a Mustangs are in business. At the 27-yard line of Centennial, 9:38 to play first half. Centennial, about 6 guys on the line. Ferguson, he is hit.
Stopped by Davis.
Number 44, Davis, laying the lever on him. And gone. Dermeyer there. They smell out that play.
Well, Mark, I love Justin Davis in the 44. 6'1", 235 pounds, nose guard. He also plays a lot of middle linebacker. He reminds me of a young ring. He loves to hit. He just enjoys hitting when he's out there. I'd like to run up against that guy. I tell you, he's a stud.
He'll have to be a wide receiver. 9 minutes to play, 2nd and 9.
Anderson back to pass.
Anderson to throw. The pass is complete. To about the 12-yard line to number 15, Ben Lewis.
That's complete to Ben Lewis.
As I said, about 3 Stockdale receivers have between 20 and 35 receptions this year. Travis Pena, who was their tight end,
picks up another Stockdale first down
because of academic reasons. But Anderson throws to a lot of different guys.
Well, Mark, again, it's sprint out to his right, and he threw 11-yard pass here.
The ball is placed on the Centennial 14-yard line.
Down and out to Lewis. So again, Anderson getting time to throw. Really made a nice throw, Mark. He fired that ball in there, a nice low line drive type pass. Could not be intercepted by the defensive back.
First and 10 for the Mustangs. Ferguson cut down from behind.
Leon Ferguson, stopped by Brian Dermeyer.
Dermeyer once again, number 30, making the tackle. Good shoestring job. 8:40 to play in the first half. The Mustangs trying to prove they belong in the same field as Centennial.
Well, Mark, one matchup tonight is Patrick Beagle, number 73, 6'3", 217, going against Kitching, who weighs about
270, yeah.
270, so a little bit of a mismatch there. But so far on this drive, Beagle's done a pretty good job hitting Kitching low and taking his feet from under him. So he gives up a little bit of weight, but height-wise, they're pretty equal.
2nd and 9 for Stockdale. Anderson
back
left,
to pass.
looking for the end zone. Fires it. Is it complete? Complete. Touchdown, Stockdale.
Pass complete to Derek Jeffrey.
Number 14,
Good for a
Jeffrey.
touchdown.
Coons and Wall over there. Great throw by Anderson. Right of the needle.
Mark, that was a great pass. That's probably one of the best passes I've seen him throw this year. He sprinted to his left, took about a 5-step drop, and waited for the receiver to get open. The receiver ran a down and out into the corner of the end zone. He fired that ball on the line. That was a 15-yard touchdown pass, Mark. He really threaded the needle on that.
Well, Anderson has time to throw. He's very good, as I mentioned. Over 1,300 yards coming into the game, 15 touchdowns. We know he's a fine runner. He was thrown high early in the game tonight. Maybe he's feeling some of that pressure. He's had time to throw. He's settled down.
And he's hitting different receivers. Season mark checked out. It was a 14-yard reception for the score.
You like to be exact.
It's
got to be in a game like this. The kick is up and it's good. We have a tie ball game, 14-14, 8:04 to play. I love it. You know, last year, 7-0 at the half in favor of Centennial, and they won it 21-0. But I think the Centennial fans are somewhat stunned by Stockdale's ability to play with the Golden Hawks so far tonight.
Well, Mark, again, it looked like Centennial was ready to move this game out when they had a 14-7 lead. And they forced Stockdale to punt the ball. But, of course, the fake punt, 23-yard run down the right sideline to give Stockdale a first down. And then, Mark, just the effective throwing by Anderson. He had looked a little bit inaccurate on the few series before, but on this last drive, he was really picking the secondary apart. They were single covering the wideouts. He had time to throw, and he was just putting the ball beautifully right in their chest on those last three throws. And he was very effective. So he can't throw the football. Tonight he's not scrambling much. He's just staying in the pocket and throwing the football. And it's been effective. It's 14-all here with really a little over 8 minutes to go at until halftime.
Well, it looked like Stockdale was beginning to feel the effects of Centennial's punishment. Like you said, that big fake on the 23-yard run by Anderson, or should I say Ferguson, will pump them up again. And they had time to throw and completed about 3 passes before they got into the end zone. So looking like Centennial had the ball in very good field position. Instead, Stockdale keeps the drive going, and they complete it with a score. So that kind of turns momentum a little bit. And a short kick goes out of bounds. I can understand the reason for that. I like the line drive. You're not going to kick it all the way. Kick a line drive more downfield. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Centennial ball, 14-14 game here in Northwest Bakersfield from Golden Hawks Stadium. As Golden Hawks challenge tonight on their home field.
Well, Mark, I think it's a little surprising to a lot of people that if you're Stockdale, I'm sure you believe that if you come out and you execute, which means that you throw the ball effectively, that you get time to throw.
But see, your penalty against Stockdale.
Run the ball, the defense honest,
on their own
and your
35
defense plays inspired, you can stay in the scoreboard game. And that's what's happened here in the first half.
Andrew Stewie threat the middle is hit after a gain of maybe 3 yards. He's kind of ran behind a big offensive line. You know, the running back,
made by Jones.
Many times it doesn't look like they're going to get any yards, but their offensive line is such a good push, they get 3 yards out of a play that's not going to go anywhere.
Well, Mark, I can continue to be amazed at Adam Stewie, the way he runs. At his weight, about 160, 165, the kind of power that he fills up the middle. Where does he get that power? He doesn't look big at all, but he just runs over guys.
Just a lot of leg strength. 7:25 to play first half. Second and a long 5. Pitch back to Stewie. Pitch behind him. Stays on his feet for the first down. He's still going. Second and third effort.
Mark, he was stopped in that play, as we said earlier. Where does he get his leg down? He carried 4 tackles on a play. It's amazing. The pitch out to him around the left side. He was stopped, and he kept going after first down. Again, I ask you, where does he get that leg?
He gained 11 yards in that play. They had his shirt from behind. Looked like he was going to gain about 2, and as you mentioned, broke that tackle, broke another tackle. And the pitch was still behind him. Wasn't a good pitch. Had to go back to receive. You want to pitch in front of the running back, and he made the play.
He has tremendous desire.
Great desire. Excellent balance. Excellent balance. This is what you need for a running back. First and 10 for Centennial. Play action. Bales, undergoing heavy rush. Gets it off. The pass. Incomplete to Smith. They're calling for pass interference. I think it was good coverage by Stockdale. Martin back to number 20.
Well, Mark, Bales was under a little bit of pressure that time, and he had to hurry the pass. He overthrew his receiver. Martin was there, but it was not pass interference. I thought it was good coverage.
But the Centennial fans wanted a penalty against Stockdale. Instead, it's a holding penalty against Centennial.
Well, in that situation, there was a little bit of heavy pressure on Balos, and one of the offensive linemen for Centennial just held briefly there. But again, it was a situation where Balos just overthrew his receiver. The receiver that time would not have made the catch anyway. It looked like Smith on the play.
I'll tell you one thing, Dennis. Stockdale's improved quite a bit since we saw them against Stockdale.
Well, I think where they've improved is especially their offense. Their offense in the passing game. Anderson, the way he's improved the passing, and that's really been the difference in their team.
First and 26 for Centennial. 6:50 to play first half. Play action. Ballas rolling to his right. Fires it. Complete. It was behind the intended receiver. Short gain.
Well,
to Etcheverry.
Nick Etcheverry.
Gain of about 5 or 6 yards.
Ryan Rutledge in on the very well. Stockdale.
Stockdale putting good pressure on Ballas, covering the deep man wall. And it'll be second down. And still quite a bit. Second and 20.
Mark Velos rolled out to his right. The deep man was covered, so he went short to on that play. Short to the short man, Etcheverry, and he picked up about a 5-yard gain. So nice play by the Stockdale secondary. Rutledge, but you cannot make the tackle.
Velos draw to Stubbe. It's on his feet. Oh, breaks the tackle. Now goes down. Good run. About 14 yards by Andrew Stubbe. How does he do it? Well, he's great in the open field.
Stubbe stopped by Uberov.
We talked about Uberov for the tackle. Got that great leg strength, and it's hard to hit him head on.
Well, Mark, the way he's carrying the ball here in the first half, he looks like he could have 30 carries tonight. They're going to use him a lot tonight. And, you know, even if it's third and long for Centennial, they don't have to throw the football. They have such a good running game. They can use Stubbe and easily pick up 9 yards like they need right now.
3rd and 7. Play action. Ballas on a heavy rush. And he goes down. Ballas trying to throw deep quite a bit tonight. Had Wall off the left, rather wide right. And it really hasn't had time to throw deep, even though he had a touchdown pass.
Brings up 4th down.
And once the Bradford, I think they're going deep a little bit too much tonight. Well, Mark, they're going too well.
That was not a bad play by Centennial. They did do a play action with Stubbe, but the Stockdale defense really didn't take the bite. And they put good pressure on, especially Christopher Garoni, number 43, senior, 5'11", 190 linebacker. He came in there and helped put the pressure on Velos and sacked him for a loss.
Well, they sandwiched him. Guys came from both sides. High snap, nice play by Smith as he gets it off. Got to have a good athlete to go up the ladder to catch that. He doesn't catch that. It could be disastrous for Centennial. So the Golden Hawks not playing really a superb game tonight. Not in their final regular season game, the 10th of the year. And they really need to pick it up. Not only to compete well and win this game, but we look forward to the playoffs. Had a few mistakes in the special teams, and they haven't been really that sharp.
Well, I think we have to give some of the credit, Mark, to Stockdale. I think they're a much improved team. They're showing some good team speed on defense. They're doing a good job on that last drive, showing up the weakness. They've double covered Smith on a few series here, so he's not be able to get deep on him. And they're also trying to double cover Bradford too. So they're forcing Centennial to run the football a little bit more.
Anderson to Martin off the left side, gain of about 2. Some of the plays you talked about
Martin, the ball carrier.
They had a fumble by Stubbe. He fumbled again and fell on it. Then they nullified a touchdown with a holding penalty. They had another personal foul, almost had a high snap there. So those are plays you can't attribute to the other team. Those are mental mistakes that you really should be making at this time of the year when you're 8-1. And then, of course, Stockdale faked the punt, and the guy ran it 23 yards. So continuing this game needs to be a little bit more alert. 4 minutes to play, first half, 14-14. You got to take it to another level. 2nd and 7. Draw play to Ferguson. Nice move. Nice little step as he gets up to about the 30-yard line.
Leon Ferguson, the ball carrier, stopped by Lonnie Jones.
Lonnie Jones making a tackle for Centennial. And we definitely do have a game tonight.
Well, Mark, number 75, Anthony Padilla for Stockdale, the right guard, senior, 5'11", 250, made a nice block on the Spring Ferguson on that last drive. So Stockdale doing a good job here in the second quarter. They're playing up to their ability tonight. They're making some plays, being aggressive, and executing.
Justin Wilkins replaces Hickson in the defensive line for Centennial. Anderson on the
Anderson keeps the ball.
And I think he has a first down. 3:17 to play in the first half. Stockdale wanting to keep the ball and possibly run out the clock. First down.
Like Justin Wilkins.
Yeah, you don't want to give Centennial the ball back.
Anderson picks up the first down.
I think they want to control the clock, get that clock down to maybe a minute or so, and then maybe throw the football, so they can get down here for a score or even a field goal. But what they don't want to do if they don't score, they don't want to get that ball to get back. Which smart play.
First and 10 for the Mustangs. Less than 3 minutes to play, first half. Jeffrey wide to left. Lewis wide right. Anderson. Running back behind him is Ferguson. And he has the ball. Hit at the line, driven back.
Once again.
Number 6, Mike Gonzalez, make the initial hit, helped out by about 4 other Golden Hawks. Davis and company.
Well, you're not going to run consistently on that Centennial defense. They can come up and pursue well, and they're also tough to run inside again. So tough to go wide, tough to go inside. I think what Stockdale has done tonight is they've been effective with pass the ball. They've thrown some nice short passes down and outs. They've gotten a few deep passes, but they've kept Centennial off balance a little bit defensively, and that's been effective for them.
Lewis White provides for Stockdale. 2 minutes to play.
Stockdale.
In the first half, as the Mustangs call a timeout, 17-10. And you're watching Prep Football exclusively on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
Weddings, graduations, birthdays, vacations, you name it, we'll dub it.
Time Warner Productions can make a duplicate of your most precious
Moments for gifts to friends
and family.
Or to protect them from tape damage and oxidation.
Our facility is state-of-the-art, and we'll dub all major consumer
formats, including VHS, VHS-C, SVHS, Beta,
and 8mm video. You'll also get the best value for your dollar at Time Warner Productions. For $10.95, dub any consumer
format up to 1 hour. For $15.95, dub up to 2 hours. Call Time Warner Productions today at 322-1941 to get more information on our quality dubbing service.
In the first half, Stockton with the ball, 2nd and 10, in a 14-14 game. The Mustangs playing very well tonight. Mike Anderson, a quarterback, the junior, long count.
Anderson
Play
back to
action, rolling to
pass.
his right. Fires it incomplete. Just threw it to the Centennial sideline. Both his receivers covered. Lewis 15, Barker number 8. And Mike showing a lot of poise, just unloading it. Of course, the fans want intentional grounding.
Not on that play, Mark. There were 2 receivers in the area, but smart play by him. You don't want to make a mistake here. You know, he did a sprint out to his right. Defensively, they had his receivers covered, so he just threw the ball away, which everybody does on offense, right?
But then, incidentally, both coaches were former quarterbacks during their time. Jan Stewie played at Shasta Bakersfield College in Colorado State, and Mark Hand at South High, and was a baseball player at Fresno State. 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs.
Anderson back to pass
coming.
again.
Oh, pass broken up. They're attempting the inside screen to Barker. It was almost picked off. Whoa,
Pass
dangerous
broken up by
play.
Mike Swan.
Swan 85. Almost had to pick 4th down for the Mustangs.
Incomplete pass brings up 4th down.
And Centennial will get the ball back here late in the 2nd quarter.
Well, it was set up nice by Anderson. The defensive pressure came in on the pass rush. He lost it, but one player, Swan, stayed in his position. His outside linebacker came in and deflected the ball and made the ball play incomplete. So good play by Centennial.
Sean Barker went for Stockdale.
Barker, the punt, fairly good one, comes to Wall. At the 39.
Ball carrier.
Goes to his right, lose a tackle. Down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds, a flag is down. He's inside Stockdale territory. 2 flags are down on the far side.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
1:45 to play in the first half, 14-14 between the Mustangs and the Golden Hawks. The final regular season game of the year, as both teams are playing for the Southwest December League Championship. Playoff time next week.
This is what it's all about. Like we said earlier, the rivalry continues here with Centennial Soccer. Fall-like evening.
Flipping penalty.
Hope that holding is okay. You're doing a good job tonight. You're being a good sport. I'm glad you didn't turn the reins over to me.
Of all the nights, for us to be outside and the wind is blowing. Golden Hawks, and they've come up with a few of these tonight. Had a chance at very good field position. This knocks him back just a ways. He ran the ball to about the 40-yard line, Stockdale territory, but the clip was about 10 yards back, and then they take a 50 from the clip. So Centennial starts to drive at about their own 22. They could have been at the Stockdale 40-yard line.
Well, I think what they're gonna do right now, Mark, because the field position isn't as advantageous to Centennial, they'll probably try to run the ball to Stubbe, and if they can pick up the first down, then you might see Bayless throw the football.
Looks like he's throwing on first down. He's throwing it to Waugh. Pass incomplete.
Pass intended for Waugh.
Almost had a hand on it. Martin with the coverage, number 20.
Martin supplying the defense for Stockdale.
On coverage. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Well, Mark, Bayless got time to throw, but I will say one thing about Coach Stubbe here. He has not been conservative. He is throwing the football a lot more, and I think he realizes if you're going to do anything in the Valley, as far as playoffs are concerned, you've got to throw the football. And I think now he realizes that without a real big, strong running back, he's got smaller backs. They're not going to be able to take the pounding on a lot of plays. So I think he decided to throw the football as much as possible.
And more in the right corner for Stockdale, covering Robert. Fails to throw, overthrows it.
Dallas' pass intended for Stubbe's ball.
Number 43, the intended receiver, covering him, number 45. Reggie Gonzalez for Stockdale. Has
If you
nothing
have
to do
lost
with
your
me,
keys,
but about
we found them. They're up in the press box.
5 or 6 years ago, I coached a football team that included Andrew Stubbe and Matt Martin.
Please come up here and claim them.
Matt Martin, number 20 for Stockdale, and of course Andrew, number 43 for Centennial. And the other guy on the team, Jason Mandelaris, played quarterback at Centennial last year. Guys are about 11 or 12 years old then. 3rd and 10. The Golden Hawks. Draw play to Stubbe, hitting the backfield, gets away from that tackle, has for 2 other tackles, stays on his feet, but he's short of the first down.
Stubbe, the ball carrier,
makes
stopped
it
by
exciting. Ashby attack for Stockdale. Stubbe just moves tackle after tackle. 4th down, and Centennial will be punting.
Mark, I tell you really have to wrap him up. So many of these players arm tackle him, and of course Stubbe is just so strong, and he's got great balance. So he just doesn't go down with just one arm tackle. You've got to really hit him and hold on to him.
And his dad, Jaron Stubbe, talking to him on the sidelines. 50 seconds to play, first half. Smith. Nice punt, beautiful punt. Jeff I think that was Bratcher.
Catch made by Jeffrey. Stop made by Bratcher.
Number 20, Bratcher with a tackle. 1st and 10 for Stockdale.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to congratulate the JV football team on a wonderful season this year.
Mark, now Stockdale having the ball here right before halftime. 44 seconds left. And a perfect 4-0 in the Southwest Yosemite League. Maybe hand the ball off.
And the 1997 Southwest Yosemite League champions.
Before halftime, we're going to get out of here.
Congratulations to the JV football team.
With a 14-14 lead. They're not going to be throwing the football in this situation. I do not believe. Could be wrong.
Well, Dennis Centennial has a good team coming up. Their JV team finished 4-0 in the Southwest Yosemite League as they beat Stockdale 21-0 tonight. So we have some good kids coming up. Running play out to the left side, gains about a yard as the clock winds down here in the first half of a very good football game between Stockdale and Centennial.
Martin carrying the ball for Stockdale, stopped by Brian Kitching.
Brian Kitching, 77 on tackle on number 20, Matt Martin. Dermeyer over there, and the clock winding down at 2nd and 9. Anderson looking back to the clock, and probably not another play tonight. Stockdale has to feel very good about being tied with Centennial at the half, 14-14. They have played a wonderful football game. After 2 quarters from Golden Hawk Stadium at Centennial High School, it is Centennial 14 and Stockdale 14.
And that's the end of the first half.
And you're watching football on Time Warner Cable.
14, Centennial 14.
52.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ's get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
It's the place to go.
Gotcha. We're your store.
Like, give in.
Powerade. Power to working muscles when you need it.
I am not done.
Get back into the game with Powerade. This game is brought to you by Powerade and your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Powerade, you are not done.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
After one half from Golden Hawk Stadium on the campus of Centennial High School, it is Centennial 14 and Stockdale 14. The Mustangs playing with Centennial Dennis in the first half.
Well, Mark, the sirens are going on, and hopefully that'll put a sense of urgency into the Centennial High football team here tonight. The magnitude of this football game is very important, Mark. Not only are we talking about the Southwest Assembly Championship, but seeding in the playoffs. And, of course, seedings are real important because the higher the seed, the more home games you get. And, of course, if you're Centennial with this nice new stadium here, you certainly want to play as many games as you can at this location. So they're going to have to come out here in the second half. But I think they just have to eliminate some of the mistakes, do what they did in the first half, throw the ball effectively, run the ball, and try to tighten up their secondary a little bit because Stockdale was able to hurt them there in the second quarter with some nice passes by Anderson, who's had a fine football game.
During the halftime,
Andrew Stewie set up a 21-yard touchdown
0.
run by Sean Barker of Stockdale. But Centennial came back with a touchdown from Vallis to Jamie Smith.
Okay. South High score, 14, East High.
Also, there was a big masking penalty against Stockdale, which set up Centennial in very good position. Bratcher out of 27.
Foothill score, 27, Highland 7.
But when Stockdale was down by 7, they went for it on fourth down in
West High,
situation.
19, North High,
23 yards for
6.
a touchdown, and then Anderson connects with 3 different receivers for a score that tied it up to 14-14. So we're going to have a good football game here tonight as we enter the third quarter.
Well, Mark, I think it will be a good football game. We had a good football game here in the first half. So I think for both teams, for Stockdale, you've got to have some confidence. You know, you've played with them for half. Now you've got to execute here in the second half. Do the things that you did in the second half, in the second quarter, and just bring those things to bear here in the third quarter, Mark. Continue to do what you did in the first half, which is throw the ball effectively and run enough to keep the Centennial defense honest. For Centennial, like we said earlier, they want to be able to run the football a little more effectively. They ran it in spurts in the first half, but they need to run it more consistently. They just have that one long drive running the football. They need to get back to running football, Kern County football.
Well, Stockdale's really had a pursuing defense tonight. As a short kick up to 82, takes it straight up the middle, stays on his feet. Oh, great run. He continues to go. Barker, the last man to beat. And he finally goes down the 21-yard line. Number 82. Wow.
Stopped by Barker.
Jeff Humphrey, a short man, And I can't imagine why Stockdale's been kicking it so short on the kickoffs.
Well, Mark, that was a major blow there for Stockdale. Here you do, you come out 14-all, and you give up a kickoff return really deep into your own territory at the 21-yard line. The Stockdale is where Centennial starts their drive. And as we said in the first half, if Centennial starts in the 50-yard line, if you shorten the field with them and you give them 21 yards to score, you're going to be in deep trouble.
Now let's get on his feet and beat Barker. Stewie, the ball carrier, flag is down.
Stewie, the ball carrier, there's a penalty flag on the play.
About the 19-yard line. And that's against Centennial. I can't imagine the number of holding penalties they've had tonight. The 10th game of the season, regular season. It's amazing. They had a holding penalty that nullified a touchdown. I think that's about the third one they've had tonight, and that really baffles me.
Well, Mark, it can happen sometimes. The game we did, I know, with Bakersfield High
against Centennial.
Foothill, all the holding calls that Bakersfield had in the first half, and the second half they're able to eliminate some of those penalties.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to announce the winners of our Golden Hawk
Centennial tonight in the third quarter is going to get back to the running game. They want to run the football, but like you say, penalties have put them in bad field position where they've had to first or second long, they've had to throw the football.
You're the winner of this prize.
What a great run back.
If your Bakersfield Energy Resource ad on page 8 of the program has a sticker.
He showed some 15, number 82. First and 20 for Centennial, 14-14 game. 11-20 playing the third. Stewie off the right side, nice burst. Now it's hit and goes down. Great tackle on the far side by Stockdale. Like Andrew had a chance to go farther. I think Ferguson made the tackle.
You're right, Mark.
Stopped by Ferguson.
One of the very few plays tonight
Once
where
again, if
Stewie
you
was
have
brought
a
down by the
sticker on
first
page 8 of
man
your program,
who grabbed a hold of him tonight because he's
you've
so
won
quick
10
with
free
great
Video
balance
City movie
and great
rentals and
strength.
tickets to a BC football game. Please come up to the press box to claim your prize.
Nice tackle.
Now let's see who's going to go home with an extra $150.
10:40 play, third quarter. Second and 18 for Centennial. Roberts wide to the left, ball on the right hash mark for the Golden Hawks. George Balance, the quarterback. Play action. Fires it over the middle. It is complete. Bratcher, touchdown, Golden Hawks.
Balance the pass to Bratcher.
For 20 tonight.
Good for a Centennial touchdown.
Well, Mark, what do we talk about Jared Bratcher again? He beats Christopher Ashby, the 5'6", 140-pound left cornerback. Again, just a simple fly pattern, straight down the center of the football field. One-on-one coverage. Again, Belos play action to
if you have a sticker on the
throws the linebackers, throws the cornerback a little bit.
You win $150.
Wide open, he had the corner beat by about 5 yards and made the catch for the touchdown. Again tonight, Centennial very effective with their passing attack.
Seems like they should have double coverage on him. Long with a kick that is up and it's good.
Extra point by Jonah Long is good.
21-14, Centennial. Bratcher with 2 TD receptions tonight. Balance has thrown for 3 scores.
Well, Mark, it's a situation where in the first half they were burned by Jamie Smith, and they single covered him, and they double covered Bratcher. Now they've gone to double covering Smith, and now Bratcher's single covered, and now he's hurting them. So for Stockdale, you can't double both wideouts. What they want to do, which they're not doing to Stockdale, I would put a linebacker, an outside linebacker on Bratcher, and bump him to some windshield a little bit just to throw off the timing a little bit, because he's getting off the ball and just running straight down the field. Nobody's even touching him. And I think you really have to slow him down at the line of scrimmage. So what I do is I bring maybe an outside linebacker mark and just bump him a little bit, kind of throw off the timing, because he's getting too good of a start off the line of scrimmage. And you know, if you ever look at professional ball, a lot of times they'll bump those receivers so they don't get off the line of scrimmage so quickly, and kind of disrupt the timing. So that's what Stockdale used to do, but they're all bunched in the middle, Mark, trying to stop Stewie on the run.
Basically, he's just taking a dead sprint on his pass route. Long will be kicking off for Centennial, 10:25 to play in the third. 21-14 Golden Hawks. That series set up by the fun return by Humphrey to Stockdale 21. As this one goes through the end zone, first and 10 for Stockdale.
Kicks the ball to the end zone. Ball will come back out to the 20-yard line.
Well, Mark, now it's time for Stockdale.
Congratulations to Gino Greenlee, the winner of $150 tonight.
Here in the third quarter. So we'll see what Stockdale can do again, as they did in the first half. They want to throw some short passes, quick out, and they also want to try to run the ball if they can, just to keep Centennial defense honest.
Stockdale led at 7-0. They were down 14-7 before tying it up. Mike Anderson. Flags rolling to his right. Fires it. Intercepted.
Pass intercepted by Justin Davis.
Davis. Look at him stay on his feet. Oh! Goes out of bounds inside the 10.
Justin Davis finally got out of bounds.
Defense now rising. The Golden Hawks deep in Stockdale territory.
Well, Mark, on that play, Anderson sprinted out to his right. I don't know where he was looking on that ball because he threw the ball right to Justin Davis, the middle linebacker. There was nobody else around. So I don't know what he saw in that play because we're at a different vantage point. But it looked like to me, Centennial was in his own defense and he just threw the ball right at Justin Davis. I'm not sure who the intended receiver was on that play. Did you see that? Anyway, a first down for Centennial. Mark, they're right in good field position here.
First and goal from the 9-yard line for the Golden Hawks. Knocked on the door once again. Andrew Scooby off the left side. Nice cutback. Touchdown!
Andrew Scooby needed for the touchdown.
Just like that, Centennial has exploded for 2 touchdowns early in the third quarter. I'm sure their coaching staff had a few words to say to the team as they have come out on fire during the third quarter.
Well, Mark, a nice block by Sean Fallweiler for Centennial. He goes at about 6'4", 270, and he made a nice block that time to spring the ball carrier Scooby. So again, Centennial coming out strong here in the third quarter. But I did tell you what would happen probably in the third quarter. I thought Centennial would come out after a halftime talk, make a few adjustments.
Extra point by Joe Long is good.
And here in the second half, they're playing more of their game. Defensively, they've rose to the occasion. Special teams have been important. And, of course, they've gotten good field position to start their offense. On the last drive, Stu made a good play. So this is more than the Centennial team you were talking about in the first half if you did not see that.
Humphrey's return to the 21. He'll set up their first touchdown. And then, of course, here.
We'd like to congratulate Robert Van Duffen, the winner of the 10 Video City movie rentals.
Well, I think right now, Mark, you're going to have to be very, very careful right now not to get totally blown out of this game. I mean, they're going to have to do something here on the next series because so whether Centennial's playing defensively, if they get the ball in good field position, they could very easily put this game out of reach 35, 40, even 50 points. You never know. They're an explosive team when they get it going, Centennial. So Stockdale has to control the ball right now, keep the ball away from that hot Centennial offense.
Centennial scored as many points here in the third quarter as they did in the entire first half, 28-14. As long will be kicking off for the Golden Hawks. Stockdale trying to stay into the game emotionally.
Joe DeLong kicking off for Centennial.
Line drive kick by Long. Comes from number 14, Jeffrey. Across the 20 to the 22 and knocked down by the Golden Hawks. You see much more pumped up here in the third than they did in the first half.
Well, I think they were a little surprised that Stockdale came out with the ball for Centennial. They weren't sure Stockdale was that kind of football team, but Stockdale came out, played very effectively in the first half, and Stockdale has improved. I mean, you know, they're a team that I think has gotten better, but Centennial is probably one of the better teams in the Valley they're playing tonight.
Looks like a timeout by the Stockdale Mustangs. And it's Anderson. Takes it to the sideline. 10:04 to play in the third quarter. 28-14 Golden Hawks. They had a 14-14 game for the half. Centennial made some mental mistakes which helped Stockdale stay in the game, but I think the Mustangs played very well in the first 2 quarters. And just like that, Centennial has exploded after the long kickoff return by Humphrey deep in the Stockdale territory. Then the pass reception to Bratcher. Greg Ballas has 3 touchdown passes tonight. Then after that pickoff by Davis to the 9, 2 scores on the next play.
Well, games are won or lost, Mark, on certain plays. In the first half, that fake punt by Stockdale set up a first down 23-yard run, and that kept them in the game and really changed the momentum. During the second half, starting the second half, the kickoff return for Centennial put them in good field position, and they were not to be denied. And then, of course, the interception by Davis set up another score by Scooby. So, like you said, they're playing the kind of football that we know Golden Hawks can play. And this is how they're going to have to play if they want to go deep into the playoffs. They have to come out inspired and be aggressive offensively and defensively.
It's first and 10 for Stockdale at their own 23-yard line. Lewis White to the right for the Mustangs. Anderson, a quarterback. Double reverse to the backfield, and Jeffries goes
reverse
down.
to Jeffries, stopped by Gonzalez.
17-yard line. And Centennial just kind of contained Gonzalez with a tackle.
Well, Mark, Gonzalez, they list him as a cornerback, but he's really a left defensive end. And he stayed home that time and didn't bite on the reverse and made the tackle for a loss for Stockdale. So you can see really Centennial really here in the third quarter really picked up the defense. They are really all over the Stockdale offense.
2nd and 15 for the Mustangs. Anderson, draw play to Ferguson. Gets up to about the 20, and that's it. It'll be 3rd and about 12 for Stockdale. And that play hasn't worked too effectively for the Mustangs tonight.
Well, I think what Stockdale's trying to do on that play, Mark, is they want to get in a position where they want to throw the football, but they know they have to run a little bit to keep that Golden Hawk defense, especially the interior line, putting a lot of pressure on Anderson. So they're going to run and try to keep Centennial a little bit honest.
3rd down and 12 for Stockdale. 8:57 to play in the third quarter. 28-14 Centennial.
Anderson back to pass.
And a pass complete to Matt Martin. Short of the first down after
Pass
a
complete
great
to Matt Martin.
in front of the Centennial bench. That would be by Andrew Stubbe and Bratcher over there, number 20. 4th down for Stockdale.
Mark, that was a nice pass by Anderson, kind of a 5-yard down and out to the corner. And again, nice throw, nice catch by Martin. But Stubbe came up, one of the safeties came up, really made a great tackle and saved us first down for Centennial. So Centennial doing it all here in the second half. The secondary is playing well, coming up making some big tackles, and they're just looking good.
They're playing Centennial type of football.
Sean Barker in punt formation for Stockdale.
Barker punting for Stockdale. Bratcher and Morales back deep for Centennial. And Stockdale will down it at the 40-yard line in Golden Hawk territory.
Ball rolls dead on the 40-yard line.
7:55 to play in the third quarter. 28-14 Golden Hawks. As it gets set up for another series. Vallis at quarterback. Looking over the Mustangs defense. Bratcher wide to the left. That's very the ball carrier. Has a first down. Cuts to the outside.
The ball carrier.
40. Tackle from behind. 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks.
Echeverry tripped up by Reggie
That
Gonzalez.
was a nice run by Echeverry. Ran off right tackle.
Picks up another Centennial first down.
He broke a few tackles and picked up a first down. Again, Centennial here in the third quarter is really starting to open up their running game. Really starting to run between the tackles and finding a lot of room to run up the middle now. Stockdale getting a little bit tired, maybe a little bit down now to score 2014. Centennial's really taking advantage of it.
Bratcher wide to the left, pitch out to Jesse Morales. That's big cutback.
Jesse Morales.
First down.
That by Uberoff.
The backup to Andrew Stubbe this year, but a fine runner, a junior. Uberoff making a tackle for Stockdale. But it's 1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. At about the 22-yard line.
Well, the fortunes of
Morales picks up another first down.
We're getting it all Centennial, running the football left, running the football right, running the football up the gut, and then throwing the ball effectively too.
Centennial looking to dominate here in the second half. Dallas on count. Jesse Morales stays on his feet after a short gain inside the 22, about the 19. As they give Andrew Stubbe, number 43, a little rest. As Andrew plays cornerback on defense.
Well, Mark, that was a nice block. That's by Josh Williams, 6'1", 240-pound lineman, left guard for Centennial. Made a nice block on that last play. Another unsung hero on the offensive line we don't always talk about.
Humphrey wide to the left had a fine kickoff return for the Golden Hawks. 6:40 play through quarter play action. Dallas fires into the end zone, incomplete.
Pass intended for Smith.
At the 2-yard line, no call.
Ball's incomplete.
The ball's not catchable.
And it looked like the defensive backs, Mark, were looking for the ball. As long as they're looking, their heads looking for the ball, they don't usually call pass interference, incidental contact they call it, so no flag.
3rd and 7 for the Golden Hawks. As Roberts comes in for Unfleet. Centennial throwing tonight, often and very effectively. 3 touchdowns for Vallis. Roberts wide to left. The option pitch back to Morales. Bad pitch. Pitch up.
to Morales.
The 20 stays on his feet. 15, 10. Oh, close to the goal line.
Nice second effort by
Mark,
Jesse
that was
Morales.
kind of a bungled pitch out, but Morales stayed with it, broke a tackle, and made a nice run down the right sideline. But Centennial's playing with a lot of heart here in the second half, a lot of drive, a lot of desire, and Stockdale's a little bit tired, not as big a squad. And Centennial's starting to pound the ball, get them a little bit tired, and now they're at the 1-yard line, basically 1st and 10.
Jesse Morales, number 42, been the main ball carrier for Centennial on this drive. What a great effort he had. Morales backfield. Morales late.
Jesse Morales into the touchdown.
Well, it's a situation where they just took the ball straight up the middle with Jesse Morales, the junior tailback, giving Stubby a little bit of a rest. And the Stockdale defense getting a little bit tired, being out about 30 pounds per man, maybe even 40 in some position. And they're starting to wear him out now. But there's not really any one play mark. I think Centennial just came out with a different mindset here in the 3rd quarter. And they're playing the kind of football they have to play. And this is what they're doing tonight here in the second half. What can you say?
Extra point by Jonah Long is good.
3 touchdowns for the Golden Hawks in the 3rd quarter as they lead at 35-14. They have blown this game wide open.
Totally different game in the first half. First half, Stockdale came out with some confidence. Centennial wasn't playing quite as effectively here in the second half. After the talking to it happened, I'm sure Coach Stubby might have raised his voice a little bit. They've come out here and played the kind of football they need to play. And it's not always easy when you're playing some teams that you're expected to win and expected to handle it. And it's not always easy to rise and play effectively in the game. And I think here in the second half they're doing it. But, you know, it happens to a lot of teams. I mean, Bakersfield High didn't play all that well in football in the first half. Second half they came out and dominated. So, you know, football is 2 halves. And so it doesn't really matter what you do in one half. If you win the football game, you win it convincingly. That's all that really matters.
That's right. And that game BHF led 7-0 at the half and won 27-0 over Foothill. As they dominated playing on both sides of the ball. Of course, Foothill still in at 13-0 down early in the 4th quarter. Ball taken out for Centennial. They scored 3 times here in the 3rd quarter.
Jonah Long kicks off for Centennial.
This ball comes to Barker. 5-10-yard line. And he's thrown down. Stockdale will be starting at the 10-yard line.
Stop made by Taylor Abernathy.
Abernathy with a tackle for Centennial.
Mark Abernathy, reserve tight end, 6 foot 200, just arm tackled and threw him down. It was a nice play on the special teams by Centennial. They're doing everything here in the second half. Special teams, offense, defense, they're making big plays. And they're playing with the aggression and fire that you would expect from the Golden Hawks. Under Coach Stubby, who's their leader.
6 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Stockdale 1st and 10 from their own 10. And he's playing out left.
Anderson back to pass.
Fakes once, fires it. Picked off. You're not saying it's a completion interception by Jason Law. I thought he had the INT. They were saying he was out of bounds.
Yes, Mark, I think he did, but I think he landed out of bounds on the play. So, therefore, no catch and no interception.
Kind of a high throw by Anderson as he's facing some intense heat back there. Centennial will really be coming at him now at 35-14.
Well, Mark, he forced that ball into double coverage, and the receiver was covered.
Anderson's pass broken up by Rusty Coons.
Nowhere to go there on that pass.
Rusty Coons 45 on the coverage. Ferguson, a ball carrier, close to the 20-yard line, and he's shy of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short for Stockdale.
Ferguson, the ball carrier.
As they try to get something going.
Kevin Scott in on the stop.
Kevin Scott making a tackle for Centennial as he's able to get past Justin Davis, 44. 3rd and 1 for Stockdale. Centennial simply lit up in the 3rd quarter. Somebody lit a fire underneath them. Lewis wide to the right. Mike Anderson looking over defense. From behind him, Ferguson with the ball.
Deion Ferguson, the ball carrier once again.
Drives forward.
Ronnie Jones in on the stop. Jones and Dermeyer.
I think that's a first down for Stockdale.
Mark, it's very difficult. We don't ever talk about Lonnie Jones, the nose guard for Centennial. He's a solid player in the middle there. 6 foot, goes at about 295, and he's been a very effective player for Centennial tonight and really all year. He's a big load and really hard to run in that interior, against the interior Centennial defense because of him.
Pick number 73 on the defensive line for Centennial.
To be specific, 6'1", about 290, 295, and like you say, he's been a 2-year starter, done a fine job really in his career for Centennial, and it really makes it tough for defenses to really get any kind of penetration up the middle within there. He just really stuffs the center and one of the guards. He takes a double team. He really holds his own.
Justin Davis, number 44, 6'1", 235, leading the game for the Golden Hawks, shaking up just a little bit. First and 10 for the Mustangs, 4:45 to play in the third. They're down 35-14. Barker in motion.
Anderson back to pass.
Fires it. Complete to Barker.
Sean Barker.
They try the first down, pick up a maybe 7 yard. Coverage by Bratcher and Scoop.
Made by Jared Bratcher.
Mark, one thing a receiver should do is that when you're Sean Barker and you're a receiver, you need to know where the markers are at all times. If you're running a down and out, you need to make sure you run far enough to get a first down. A lot of times tonight, the Stockdale receivers have been a yard or two short. You need to go far enough down so to get that first down, then turn around. So you really help out the quarterback when you do that. In this situation, you don't leave him second and 2.
Jason Wall, right corner. Bratcher, left corner. Scooby, the safety. Barker in motion. Ferguson. Stacked up on Lonnie Jones and company. Probably lose some yardage. It'll be 3rd and short. Maybe 3rd and 3 for Stockdale in their own territory.
Mark, just to give you a little idea of the Stockdale offensive line, Tyson Clayton, the junior, 6'2", 280, 75 Anthony Padilla, 5'11", 250. Ryan Wilkerson, number 74, 6'1", 230. Patrick Beagle, 73, 6'2", 217. And number 74,
3-yard line.
6 foot, 237 yards.
Lewis White to the right, Anderson to throw.
Anderson back to pass.
Looking left, the pass, complete to Matt Martin. And they hit him immediately. Looks like he has the first down, though.
Pass complete to Matt Martin.
Ball over there, number 22.
Rusty Coons in on the stop.
Coons 45. First and 10 for the Mustangs as they keep this drive alive. 3 minutes.
Anderson's pass good for another Stockdale first down.
Centennial's playing 3-4 defense. Swan is a left end, and of course he's a fine player. It's 5'11", 190.
Ball's on the Stockdale 35-yard line.
And the 3-4 is more suited against the passing game. Mustangs on first
Anderson
down.
back to pass once again.
Anderson rolling to his right. Under rush. Fires it. Incomplete. A flag is down.
Pass is incomplete. There are penalty flags on the play.
Holding against the offense. Number 77 is a big player for Stockdale. Tyson Clayton.
That's one of their fine offensive linemen I just mentioned earlier.
Holding penalty.
Right.
Against
We
Stockdale.
talked about the down lineman for Centennial who's done a fine job tonight. Of course, we talked about Swan on the left end. Of course, Lonnie Jones, we talked about the nose guard at 6'1", about 290. And then number 60 is Dustin Wilkins, the junior, 6 foot 195, plays the other defensive down lineman. So they use a 3-4, but they also use the linebackers come up, sometimes can play as a defensive end too. But those are some of the players that have done a good job tonight for Centennial, along with Gonzalez, who plays a little bit of rover back and also comes up and plays an extra defensive end. He's an excellent player at only about 165, Gonzalez, number 6 for Centennial.
2:53 to play here in the third quarter. First and long for Stockdale. Draw play to Ferguson in the backfield.
Ferguson on the draw play.
Gets
Stopped
across
by
the 15
Swan.
to about the 17-yard line. Swan making a tackle for Centennial. That play has not worked too effectively for Stockdale tonight, especially in the second half.
Well, Mark, another player who's played for Centennial tonight, kind of as an extra defensive back, number 33 has done a fine job for him. Derek Tissinger, senior, 5'10", 180. He's done a fine job, number 33 for Centennial.
The Golden Hawks defense coming to play in the second half. Waugh coming over, number 22.
Anderson back to pass.
Pass complete momentarily, now incomplete to Lewis. Nice
Pass
hit by the
intended
Golden
for
Hawks.
Lewis, broken up by Brian Durmeyer.
Durmeyer back there in pass coverage for Centennial. Third and long for Stockdale. Well, third and 28.
Well, Mark, if you look at Centennial's secondary, they've done a great job here in the second half. And a lot of the players are going both ways. Bradford in the secondary, as you mentioned earlier. He's back there right now playing. So a very effective secondary for Centennial. Number 20, Jared Bradford, also back there right now. So a lot of those players going both ways for Centennial.
Of course, Kitchen goes both ways on offense and defense. Number 77. There's reverse to 44 Uberock. And he just gains minimal yardage. Fourth down, punting time for Stockdale.
Well, Mark, I mentioned Wilkins was playing left tackle.
Eric, you brought the ball
He
carrier.
backs up, number 77, Kitchen. Kitchen doesn't always play all the time on defense. And for most of the second half, Wilkins has been in the game. Bradford's not Bradford, but Kitchen's been resting on defense and playing on offense the right tackle. So they bring some guys in and out to get some of these guys a breather.
Well, they definitely have the depth to do that. Centennial, about 60 guys on the team.
Sean Barker, the punter for Stockdale.
For Stockdale, line drive to Waugh on the far side and goes down immediately at his own 44-yard line.
Jason Waugh.
First and 10 for the Golden Hawks. 1:17 to play.
Was immediately stopped by John Myers.
35-14 Centennial over Stockdale.
Well, Mark, as we talked about earlier in the second half, I think Centennial's defense has really put the clamps on Anderson in the second half. What they've really done is they jammed their offensive receivers that stuck with the line of scrimmage. They're not getting off the line of scrimmage, and that makes it much more difficult for them to get in their pass routes. Anderson's having to hold the ball a little bit longer, then he's not being effective to pull the ball away because of the rush. Now you're going to see Centennial here. I think they're going to try to keep the ball on the ground, control the clock, and run this game out.
Ball given to Echeverry, I believe, and he's in the backfield. As Vallows barely got the ball to him. Great penetration by Stockdale, but actually it's number 33.
Cal Bynum, the ball carrier.
Bynum in his first carry tonight. And
Wilkins on the stop for Stockdale.
Under 1 minute.
Also the yard on the play. Second and 11.
Second and 11 for the Golden Hawks. So they did 35-14. Ratchet coming wide left. Caught 2 touchdown passes tonight. Andrew Stubbe. He immediately stays on his feet.
Andrew Stubbe, the ball carrier.
First down. Inside Stockdale territory. About a 15-yard gain by Stubbe, number 4.
Stubbe stopped by Rutledge and Ferguson.
Rutledge made the tackle, but Stubbe may pick up a nice game when he should have been stopped for about a 2-yard gain. I do not know how he breaks so many tackles at the line of scrimmage. He is tremendously strong, but you have really got to wrap him up, and Stockdale's not done that.
Well, a lot of teams haven't done that this year. Has averaged about 80 yards a carry coming into the game. Clock winding down the third quarter, 35-14 Centennial. First and 10 in Stockdale territory to 39. Echeverry breaks a tackle, gains about 4 to the 35-36
Nick
yard
Echeverry
line.
on the carry.
And the clock has wound down here in the third
Stopped by
quarter.
Reggie Gonzalez.
35-14 Centennial on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
At the end of the third quarter.
It was a day like any other. Mom was baking her famous cinnamon rolls when suddenly the skies grew dark and the winds began to blow. There was no mistake, a cyclone was coming. We ran for cover just in time. And when we returned, the most incredible thing had happened.
Oh, my.
With a taste that'd make your taste buds spin, people came from miles around for just one bite. And you will too, at Cinnamon Cyclone.
Cinnamon Cyclones is now open at 18th and Chester, so stop by. We'll make your taste buds spin.
Get in on all the the football action with refreshing Coca-Cola Classic. This game is brought to you by your Coca-Cola bottler in Bakersfield. Always for the fans, always Coca-Cola.
Excuse me, is that tuxedo from AJ's?
Let AJ get you noticed. A Bakersfield tradition for over 25 years, specializing in Pierre Cardin, Christian Dior, Oscar de la Renta, and Calvin Klein. AJ's Tuxedo Junction, with 3 great locations to serve you.
Gutshot is the place to go to dress up your home.
It's the place to go. Gottschalk's, we're your store.
Okay, fourth quarter action from Golden Hawk Stadium on the campus of Centennial High School. It's Centennial 35 and Stockdale 14. The Golden Hawks took advantage of some big plays early in the third quarter to score and really dominated that period. The first half was a very tough battle for both teams. There's been all Golden Hawks in the second half.
Well, I think Centennial came out marked in the second half, and they decided they were going to be committed to playing a perfect football game, mistake-free football, and get physical, and develop a balance between run and pass, and they were effectively able to do that.
Andrew Stubbe, 5 and more, first down.
Andrew Stubbe.
Inside the 25-yard line.
Stop by you, Rob.
Earls number 43. Uber for the tap for Stockdale. The Mustangs.
Stubbe picks up a first down for
back to the
Centennial.
wall defensively here in the second half.
Well, Centennial's able to run wide, and that kind of
Ball is on the 25-yard line of
defense.
Stockdale.
And then every once in a while now they're punching the ball up the middle to Etcheverry. So they're giving them the 1-2 punch. Stubbe wide, Etcheverry up the middle. And it's really become a very potent force for Centennial here in the second half.
At first and 10 for the Golden Hawks with Etcheverry and Stubbe in the backfield behind George Ballos. Ratchet wide to the right. Stockton with a lot of people on the defensive line. Play action. Ballos hitting the backfield and is dropped. Roberts was going.
Ballos is dropped by Ryan Rutledge.
And number 4 covered very well by Stockdale.
Well, Mark, that was the cornerback blitz. Ryan Rutledge came in from the secondary and really helped out to sack Balos for really a little bit of a loss there. But I think right now Stockdale has to gamble a little bit. They've got to come with the blitz, come with additional linemen, because they've got to put pressure on the quarterback. You cannot afford just to sit back and play your normal defense of a 4-3. They've got to bring guys now, play recklessly, and try to make a play, because trailing 35-14, they're not going to be able to stand up to man-to-man. They've got to come with additional men and be aggressive in attack.
3rd and 14, draw play to Stubbe. Hit in the backfield and dropped at about the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 yard.
Draw play to Andrew Stubbe, stopped by Andrew Ferguson.
Ferguson also Reg Gonzalez. 10-13 to play in the ball game. And it's 4th
of 1 on the play.
Centennial. 4th and about 13.
3rd and 14.
A 3rd down for the Golden Hawks. Thrasher wide to the right. Humphrey wide left for the Golden Hawks. Ballos looking to throw. Fires it for Smith.
Ballos is passed to Jamie Smith. Good for Centennial touchdown.
That same play, Dennis, that worked in the first half. Smith beat Sean Barker.
Well, Mark, Sean Barker, 6'1", 180, playing the strong safety. He pretty much took the line of scrimmage to help out the run support. Again, on that last play there, he was only 3 yards off the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. That's too close to the line of scrimmage. And what happens, Mark, is you can't get out in coverage and cover in secondary. Again, he's worrying too much about run support, and he's been burned a lot on that same play. And again, Stockdale trying to single cover all 3
Stockdale receivers.
Extra post by Jonah Long is good.
And the other receiver they had out there, and they're just not able to do it. You cannot single cover all three, and they have everybody up at the line of scrimmage in the box in the interior line trying to guard against the run, and it just was not effective that time. Sean Barker having a hard time with Smith all night, isn't he?
Smith has had a couple of touchdown receptions, as did Jared Bratcher. Latest 4 throws were scores by George Vallis.
Mark, you have Waugh out single coverage. You've got Bratcher out on single coverage, and then you have Smith as a tight end lined up as a tight end on that play going out over the middle for the score. Again, Stock's trying to cover everybody's single coverage, and they're worried too much about the run. In that situation, Smith is able to get behind Barker with strong safety pretty much all evening. There's been no bumping Smith at the line of scrimmage, and if you don't do that, a good receiver is going to get deep on you, and they're going to be effective. So here you go with 9:47 left in the game. Here in the fourth quarter, Centennial in good shape, 42-14, ready to roll, Mark. They're ready to rumble into the playoffs next week, Centennial.
Jonah Long kicking off for Centennial.
George Vallis 4 touchdown passes tonight for Centennial. Jeffries brings it across the 20-yard line to the 24 for Stockdale. It's an all Golden Hawks here in the second half, 42-14. We're going to tie ball game after 2 quarters.
Jeffries on the return for Stockdale.
But Centennial really putting the stop to Stockdale here in the second half. And most outstanding teams are great in the second half.
Well, I think they are, but I think if you look at the first half, Centennial was able to run the football and throw the ball effectively. I think the second half, the difference is that they've cut out their mistakes more. There hasn't been the penalties here in the second half, and I think Stockdale just hasn't been quite effective themselves running their offense.
Anderson play action. Fires it complete for the first down.
Anderson's pass to Barker is complete.
To about the 37-yard line to number 8, Sean Barker. Barker had a 21-yard run for a touchdown for Stockdale's first score tonight. He's had a little trouble handling Smith as a defensive back. Had a couple of receptions. 9:17 to play in the ball game. First and 10 for the Mustangs in their own territory. And we will call that the 37-yard line.
Well, I think that was a nice sprint out to the right by Anderson, a 3-step drop, not completion. He needs to do more of that. If you're Stockdale, you want to get some confidence on this drive, Mark, because they're going to be going to the playoffs. And so what they want to do is be able to get some confidence going here for next week. You know, find something that can work, and then try to utilize it for next week because their season continues.
Stockdale will be going on the road for the playoffs, and Centennial will be hosting an opponent here at Golden Hawk Stadium.
Well, I think the seeding starts Sunday, who they're going to play, but it looks like preliminary that Stockdale will probably be playing one of the closest in the first round. So if that's the case, it's going to be a very difficult next week. But you know, playing Centennial this week will give them some idea what they'll be facing, and you know, it's going to be tough for them. But they know what level of competition they're going to be playing at, and they're just going to have to rise to the occasion, Mark.
They might be playing Buchanan. First and 10 for the Mustangs. Ferguson
in the ball carrier.
In the backfield, gains about 1 or 2 yards. That's about it. As the Centennial D up there for the
Scott
stop.
Durmeyer in on the stop.
Durmeyer in on the stop for Centennial. 8:45 to play in the ball game. And the Mustangs down 42-14. Virtually haven't done much offensively in the second half, Stockdale.
Yeah, and I think when Centennial got off to the good start here in the second half and got a couple quick scores, took a little bit of the steam out of the Stockdale offense. And I think there's been a little bit more pressure by the Centennial defensive line here in the second half.
Taking off on Anderson. The pass complete to Lewis. First down. Hit by about 3 Golden Hawks.
Pass to Ben Lewis is complete.
To the 48-yard line. It's by Coons and Bynum coming over there for Centennial. First and 10 for the Mustangs. Under 8 minutes to play in the game.
Well, Mark Ben Lewis, a senior, 6'2", 172-pound split end. He's had a fine game tonight for Stockdale. He's been open and made a few catches here and in some traffic. So he's a player maybe he can go on and play at 6'2", 172. He's got the height to play Division I football.
They put on about 10 or 15 pounds. Nice run off the left side by Matt Martin.
And Matt Martin carrying the ball for Stockdale. Swan
number 20
trips him up.
Tackle for Centennial. At 7:40 to play in a ball game, Stockdale trying to put together a drive here. They haven't had too much success offensively in the second half.
Well, Mark, on that last run successfully by Stockdale, Patrick Beagle, 6'3", 17-pound offensive guard, made a nice tackle. Excuse me, nice block.
Mike Anderson just got dropped. The pass complete on the far side. Jeffries had fallen down, and the pass delivered perfectly.
Anderson's pass to Derek Jeffrey is complete.
For Stockdale.
Well, Mark, Derek Jeffrey.
Good play. Stockdale
split in,
first down.
5'10", 167-pound senior. He's had a fine game tonight. Has been in on some pass plays, and Anderson that time again a three-step drop, quick passes, and that's how they're moving down the field. This is the kind of effective offense that they need to build on. And next week, I think it can be successful for them. It wasn't the first half.
First and 10 for the Mustangs. Lewis in motion. Anderson to Martin. Quick burst up the middle. Inside the 30
Matt
to
Martin
about
with
the
the ball.
29-yard line where they drive back.
Dermeyer and Scott.
Dermeyer and Scott making the tackle for the Golden Hawks. And the clock's at 6:40 to play in the game. And the Hawks have this one under the belt at 42-14. So Centennial improving to 9-1 this year. And Stockdale falling to 4-6. Centennial would be 4-0 in the Southwestern Timber League, and Stockdale 3-1. Lewis in motion. Anderson long count. Ferguson tries to cut back. Hit after gain of about 1 yard.
Ferguson, the ball carrier.
Dermeyer making
Kyle Bynum out of the stop for Centennial.
For Centennial, Bynum for the stop. Pitching over there, number 77. 3rd and 2.
Well, Mark, I think the Stockdale program, as we see tonight, I think it's on the rise. I think the team's shown some ability tonight to move the football, a lot of competitive spirit. And of course, next year we're going to have the new stadium ready to go. Now the Stockdale Mustangs will have a home field at Stockdale. So we're seeing
Anderson keeps the ball.
Their football program.
Anderson on the keeper, picks the ball back to Martin. He fumbles it. And I think the Golden Hawks have come away with
Fumble recovered by number 85, Mike Swan.
Swan, the recovery for Centennial on a option pitch from Anderson to Matt Martin.
I was getting back to that Southwest Assembly League next year, Mark. We have Centennial with their own stadium, Stockdale next year with their own stadium, Ridgeview now next year in that league will have their own stadium. So a lot of the schools in that area now are starting to build their football programs and traditions. Two new teams, Ridgeview and Stockdale, both with brand new stadiums opening up in 1998. Very exciting for those schools.
And Highland putting up some lights on their stadium.
Football's growing, Mark, in Kern County. A lot of the new schools getting their own traditions. Their own stadiums going straight to see. It really is.
Centennial with the ball, 5:40 to play in the game. Stubbe still in the ball game. That's Morales.
Jesse Morales, the ball carrier.
Now cuts back, has a first down. Strong running.
Jesse's finally brought down by Eric Uberoff.
Gain of about 12 yards by Jesse Morales, number 42. A fine runner in his own right. And 1st and 10.
Jesse picks up a first down.
Well, I think if I'm Stockdale here, I want to tighten up my defense a little bit. I don't think you're going to see Centennial throw the football here. They're going to want to run the football and use some of the clock. So if I'm Stockdale, I want to bunch up that line of scrimmage with about 9 guys and really try to keep Centennial from scoring another score here to keep the game respectable at 42-14.
And a big second half for the Golden Hawks as it was 14-14 at the half. Centennial came out with a lot of fire in the 3rd quarter. Thanks to that return by Unfried to the Stockdale 21-yard line. They scored moments after that on a pass play. And then they had an interception, Centennial, to the Stockdale 9-yard line. Stubbe scores on the next play. So just like that, it was 20-14. Now it's been all downhill for Centennial, uphill for Stockdale since then.
Well, like you say, Centennial here in the second half. Mark, I just think they've eliminated their penalties, and I think that was really what hurt them in the second quarter, is that when they made some nice plays, they were stopped by some holding penalties. In the second half, They eliminated that. Except
in another Southwest Yosemite League game with 7 minutes remaining.
Played a really
West High 19, North High 13.
Offensively, defensively, and I think they played inspired ball. And you had mentioned starting the second half that they needed to come out with a little adrenaline rush, and they did. 5:30 to play.
Jesse Morales.
Close to a first down.
Jesse tripped up by Andrew Ferguson.
Across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Goes number 42. As Centennial keeps it on the ground, tries to chew up some of that clock. And the Stockdale Mustangs just trying to hang in there tonight as the clock is winding down on their regular season. Stockdale will be in the playoffs, but they'll have to open up against a very tough team on the road. Foul still there at QB. And the handoff to Bynum. And just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Kyle Bynum carries the ball for Centennial.
That's what we like to see, Mark. Stockdale, even though the score is 14-14, they're playing hard. And you don't want to give up here. You don't want to. You have pride. You want to hold the score down as much as possible. And I think defensively, Stockdale has been good tonight. Centennial's really hurt them with some of the pass plays, some of the big plays. But I think they've done a pretty good job against the run from Centennial. Pitch back to Justin Morales, looking for the cutback, puts his head down, and I believe has the first down for the Golden Hawks.
Jesse Morales picks up a first down.
1st and 10 for the Golden Hawks. Just inside Stockdale territory at the 49-yard line. Well, Mark, two players to mention tonight for Stockdale really had yeoman performances. Number 32 has been all over the field. Andrew Ferguson, 6'1", 190-pound fullback linebacker. And also number 44, Eric Uberoff, senior, 5'11", 175. And 43, Christopher Garoni, 5'11", 190. They've all played solid football tonight defensively for Stockdale. Bowles with a quick dive off the left side. Yeah, it's Stockdale stopping that play on first down. Bynum the ball carrier. 3:45 to play in the game. Mark, right now, Centennial is providing a lot of substitutions offensively. You want to get all the players in the game if they can, and they're just going to run out the clock here. No reason to put the ball in the air. If they can pick up one more first down, that should do it in this ball game here. Second and 9. Excellent performance here in the second half by Centennial. We're just going to see them do a lot of dive plays up the middle here and run out the clock. 2nd and 9 for the Golden Hawks. Morales hitting the backfield. It goes down for loss of about a yard. So the Mustangs hanging tough on defense.
Morales brought down by Hendrickson and Ferguson.
Henderson and Ferguson, number 32.
Loss of 2 yards on the play.
3 minutes to play in the game, and
loss of 2 makes it 3rd and 11.
Foul all over to score Centennial 42 and Stockdale 14. But a good effort by the Mustangs tonight as they were tied with the Golden Hawks at half, 14-14. Now taken off. Right, Mark, and I think you would agree that Stockdale has shown improvement since the games we saw earlier. And I think they're going to be a good representative for the Southwest Centennial League in the playoffs this year. Mark's going to be going downstairs to talk to some of the important people that were involved in this football game. Maybe a word with Coach.
Nice second effort.
Maybe a player or two down there they'll be talking to.
Picks up about 8 yards on the play.
With 2:22 left in the football game, 42-14. Centennial, of course, is leading. Centennial wrapping up the Southwest Assembly League Championship. The Golden Hawks, excellent second half. Eliminated their mistakes in the second half. Really were very effective in the air. Bratcher and, of course, Velos throwing the football to them. And, of course, the running game with Echeverry and Stubbe did a yeoman-like performance here in the second half. So they've really done it all.
Timeout for Centennial.
Timeout for Centennial. Coach Stubbe bringing them over to have a little talk with some of the boys. I think what they really need here, 4th and 4, they're going to try to run the football. And I don't think they'll be punting here. Of course, they might punt. I thought they might just run the football out, run the play out, and let Stockdale take over on downs. But They're about at the 47-yard line of Stockdale, so maybe if they run a play here and they don't get it, Stockdale would get a good field position. So they decided after the timeout, instead of going for it on 4th down, to punt the ball. Well, they punted the ball, Jamie Smith, and there's a penalty on the play. Smith made a nice punt, but they'll be roughing the kicker, so it'll be brought back, and Centennial will get an automatic 1st down, and they'll just run the clock out. Well, next week,
kicker penalty.
As I mentioned, next week, it's for all the marbles. The Yosemite Division playoffs start. Centennial will be hosting the team at home, we're sure, next week. The committee gets together this Sunday, so I think Centennial will know who they're playing Monday morning. Stockdale also is in the playoffs, is the 2nd seed in the Southwest Yosemite League. They'll end up their league record at 3-1. Centennial will be 4-0. Stockdale will be on the road. They don't know who they'll be playing yet. As I mentioned earlier, they'll probably be a low seed, so probably a 12th or 13th seed, and probably will be on the road against one of the Clovis schools. It'll be a difficult game for Stockdale, but if they play like they did in the first half tonight, they can be effective. They know what they're up against because they're going to be playing a team that's similar to Centennial. So they're going to have to eliminate their mistakes, and they're going to have to be effective offensively, throwing the football and running the ball, and the defense is going to have to play inspired. 1:46 left in the football game. 42-14 Centennial, wrapping up the Southwest Yosemite League. Great first half, a good rivalry here. But in the second half, Centennial, I think, just wore Stockdale out. The depth of Centennial really took over. They're a little bigger on the offensive line, 20 or 30 pounds bigger per man. And they have a little more depth. They're able to substitute freely, and I think they just wore down Stockdale. But if you want to look for keys to this game, the kickoff return starting the 3rd quarter really set Centennial up to the 21-yard line of Stockdale. And at that point on, they went in for a quick score to make it 21-14. And from that point on, they just steamrolled Stockdale. It just really got the momentum and came out inspired. Coach Dooley had a talk with them at halftime. And that was all she wrote.
Roberts goes down on one knee.
Very impressive performance by Centennial here in the second half. And Stockdale has nothing to be ashamed of. They played a great first half, but it was just too much size and strength and depth for Centennial here in the second half. We've got under a minute left in the football game. We had almost a full house here tonight at Golden Hawk Stadium for this rivalry. We might be back here next week on Time Warner. We don't know yet. Centennial will probably be hosting the game here at home as the number 3 seed in the Valley.
Roberts will be once again.
All I can tell you is Buchanan's the number 1 seed before tonight's game. The defending Valley champion, Redwood, is the number 2 seed. Centennial is the number 3 seed. And then Bakersfield High is the number 4 seed. Those are the top 4 seeds. And wouldn't it be great if we had semifinal games with Bakersfield and Buchanan and Centennial and Redwood? Boy, wouldn't that be great semifinals? And wouldn't it even be great if we had 2 Kern County teams playing for the finals, Centennial and Bakersfield? That could be played at Memorial Stadium in 4 weeks if it happens. Final score, Centennial 42, Stockdale 14. Great performance in the second half by Centennial. This is Dennis Heffernan. We'll return with interviews and a recap of other prep football games on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.
The Golden Hawks beat Stockdale tonight 42-14. With me is head coach Jan Stubbe of Centennial. A very tough first half, 14-14, but your defense turned the game around in the second half.
Well, you know, it was a championship game, and that's the way they should be played. And Stockdale played very, very well, and their coaches had them so well prepared. And 14 and a half, and we just told them the champions will come out of the locker room, whichever team it is, and our kids responded very well. And defense, our kick return by Umfried, and then we got the pick, and then we started rolling a little bit.
Really turned it on after that.
Yeah. And
it's like an avalanche.
I was real proud of the way our kids came through, and offense, defense, and it was a team effort. So it was a good night, 10th game of the season.
Well, Coach, you really developed the passing game throughout the year. George had 4 touchdown passes tonight. Jamie Smith was able to get open against Sean Barker quite a bit this evening.
Well, we thought Jamie would have a big game tonight because of what the defense they were playing. And George Vallis, you know, we're facing 9 guys up front to stop the run, and George can throw the ball. I mean, he's had a great night, and Bratcher caught a couple. So, you know, it's we respond to the blitz and to 9 guys up.
It's very hard to single cover those guys.
Bratcher's pretty fast he's a fast dude, and so it was just a good win. We reacted to things. We had some adversity, and we got it going. And like I said, Stockdale played very well. They'll do very well in the playoffs.
My brother can't figure out how Andrew, your son, breaks so many tackles.
Takes after his mother.
He's always asking me that. This guy's only 165. He's always breaking tackles.
He's a tough kid, and he runs very hard, and he plays defense, and you know, so he just always had that trait. He has good vision, and he runs. He doesn't quit.
A good win tonight, Coach. 42-14 on to the playoffs.
Thank you.
Take care. Final score tonight, Centennial 42, Stockdale 14. I'm Mark Heffernan on Time Warner Cable, Channel 52.